Hey, your brother.
Brother.
Hey, Issa.
Come on, Isa. Open a bit.
Let me.
It's the main camera.
Yo, Mo. Which way you going?
From
Go
the
on.
fact that the woman feels a certain way about it and about how he's treating her or whatever. But if you actually look at the benefits, there's benefits there obviously if you're raising kids. If it's all done right, then it's good. There's nothing wrong with
What
it.
I was trying to get to is
Content over everything.
that the way, like if a brother comes along and says, I want 4 wives, let's say he wants 4.
Can he afford 4 wives?
Let's
is
say
the
he
first
can.
question.
Let's say he can afford them, he's a millionaire, all of that. I'm talking about the fact that even if he's got the money, does that mean they're each going to be happy? I'm saying, what is the purpose?
So what are you saying?
I'm saying, what is the? I'm saying it's important.
Are you saying that their
I'm saying
happiness
it's
isn't important?
Huh?
Are you saying their happiness isn't important?
No, I'm
All
saying
4 of them.
it's not only money that's going to make them happy. Is my point. I'm saying
No,
the
but there's-
mentality.
there's-
plays a big
exactly.
role.
That is.
So
that
I'm
is
saying the
actually-
mentality of the people going into the marriage.
Yeah.
There has to be intelligent purpose for why you're marrying
Yeah,
anybody in the first
100%.
place.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when it comes to marriage, what are the reasons why most Muslims are getting married now?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was
and then it goes
okay,
on
yeah.
to the polygamy, and I was saying what I found, because of let's say all our Muslim nations are mashed up.
Even if
we're
you just
trying
talk
to
about marriage in general, don't talk about Muslim.
No, go on.
because like obviously people get married for different reasons. Obviously in Islam it kind of.
But I'm saying because in Islam you sort of got a straight path, and you've got certain goals, for instance, to establish justice and so on. If I bring in the others, I think it will complicate.
So are you saying that you believe that every man on earth,
Yeah.
his natural instinct, if he was allowed,
Nah.
would be to have more than one wife?
Most of them, yes. I would say.
I agree with that.
Most of them, yes.
I would agree.
Then can
Bang!
I
That was
ask
Raven,
a
Raven.
question? If that was the case, then why did Allah make it kind of
Allowed,
not
allowed.
obligatory to take up more than one? He
But-
made it an option.
Of course,
if
but-
that's your natural inclination as a man, surely Allah would have made it an obligation to
Because
take
not
up
But
more than
that's
one.
He
where
can't force
taqwa
you.
comes, isn't it then? Then Allah asking,
how can
even
Allah
those
force you?
desires
That'd
that
be
I
oppression.
have, that I can have more than one wife. So those desires have to go through my taqwa that I would pray, I would do
He's
these
reduced it
things.
to desires.
And
That's
I have
what I have a problem with. It's
so
reduced
you're
to
about
it's
now.
reduced to
So
desires.
are you
What I'm
saying-
saying is I'm not reducing it
No,
to
but
desires.
naturally every man have the desires.
Brother,
For
it's,
for
that's what I'm
women.
saying.
For
Because you
marriage.
lot,
Why do you think
I'm
naturally?
saying,
So why
when
Allah
you get
didn't
to
say
marriage,
to
this is the
women,
problem
get
with a lot of the marriage today, yeah?
husbands.
They're thinking, right, let me
Because
get
Allah
married.
knows women are stronger
What's wrong
than
with you,
men.
man?
Yes, we
There's-
are.
Right, so
No, you are.
a lot of
You
people
are.
are getting married because they're saying, I need my sexual
That's why
urges
he said, don't
gratified. Yeah? So this is a lot of the Muslim men's mentality that I'm hearing. Yeah? I have sexual urges, I need to get married to deal with these sexual urges. And I'm saying if that's your first point in principle, when you get together, after that's gratified after the first month and blah, 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 honeymoon period over here, what is the basis of what you're really married for? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm saying, as he said, and as I've heard hundreds of Muslims say the same thing, their view of marriage to me is wrong. And if sisters are going into the marriage with the same thing, oh, I'm here for you to satisfy your desires, da 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 da, then it's just how long before that mashes up?
So what's your argument? I don't understand.
I know exactly.
What's
I'm
your
saying-
argument for polygamy?
I'm saying,
Well, I don't understand.
all right, the first thing before we even get to polygamy now, because I started off with the purpose of marriage, yes? Why are you going into it? And I said, if there's a brother, for instance, who's got ideas to do something, let's say he's got ideas for things to be written, but he's not that good with grammar or he hasn't got time. So the sister now, she studied, blah, blah, blah. She could, secretary, writer, whatever you want to call it, yeah? She could do all of that. So I'm saying that becomes a team, power couple, right? And they're producing something for themselves and society. A brother's a mechanic. The sister can, I don't know, do the books, whatever it is. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm saying you're supposed to be working together.
To build an empire.
Other than, I need to gratify myself. Because I'm saying, the brother said it straight. Sexual urges.
But you're not saying anything
but
that's
that's
outside
natural.
Islam.
No.
Is it not natural?
This is what I'm
As a
saying.
man?
You're saying to me, I'm not saying anything outside of Islam.
Yeah, okay.
I just went 180 degrees against what he's saying.
But what I'm saying
And he's
is,
talking
what's
from
your
Islam.
argument? I don't understand what your argument. Are you saying
My
that
argument
Even
is-
Islam.
women
A
outside their
non-Muslim
fitrah?
man can
Are you-
marry.
I don't
No, I'm
understand.
saying before we, I'm saying
He goes to mistress.
we've had
He
to
goes
reverse.
everywhere.
What's wrong
So
with this
even
guy,
a
man?
non-Muslim wants more than
What's
one
wrong
wife.
with you, bro?
That's one of the reasons that men. So the only reason.
most
Some
of the
don't
time-
want to have children. Some
You see what I
say-
mean?
he's saying
You
some
see, they
want
can't
to-
control their impulses and urges.
Yeah.
They can't control it outside of a
No,
conversation,
I don't.
and they can't control it inside of a
I don't agree
conversation.
with you. I don't agree with
You don't agree?
Not with that same statement making. When we first started talking,
Oh, you mean him and
when we
Sean?
first started talking, I said that I believe in polygamy for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
A man has to go into it knowing how to have one marriage and deal with one marriage. You need to be good in your first marriage marriage before you try and make 3 and 4.
Saying,
Do
what is
it
the
3 and 4.
purpose? This is
So
what I noticed.
that's what I'm saying. When you're saying, yeah, build an empire, all this kind of thing.
What is
That's
building
what I
an
would be
empire?
doing anyway. That's what I would think marriage is anyway. So I don't.
Did you not hear what he said?
Yeah, I heard it.
Right, do you not agree that's the majority of Muslim men's mentality?
Because they don't understand it, they need to actually.
No, do you agree?
Yeah, I feel.
Thank you.
But I think it's because they're not being taught about how to deal
I
with the
agree.
first marriage.
No, forget first. I'm talking about marriage anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But
I'm saying to
the
you,
ultimate goal for every man,
listen to what I'm
obviously, is to
saying.
get married,
Before we even get to polygamy, we have to sort out the fact that this man is talking as well as many Muslim men. What's wrong with you people, bruv?
So you can talk, nobody else can
No,
talk.
we're having a conversation. It's the sister
Everybody
circle.
wants to get involved.
Yeah,
So what's the problem
actually,
with it?
but
All right, let me say my piece.
ask him this question. Ask
All
the
right,
question.
did you say?
I will shut up because
Good,
of
good.
you.
No, ask the question. He needs to ask you
He
the question.
confirmed. I was a Sunni, yes, brother. I was.
Shia came again.
No, sorry. I retract that. Hold on. I was of that mentality because there's Shia brothers that got the same mentality. So let me retract that statement. I'm saying I was introduced.
Are you taking pictures?
He's always taking pictures. I don't know why, but anyway.
Right, okay.
So as I was saying, I was of the mentality, and there's lots of brothers going by this idea of, it helps to lower your gaze and therefore helps to extinguish or quench your sexual urges. And what I'm saying is, yes, it does. But my point is, we're not living in the villages and whatnot where you've got a culture which will assist, so the women are baking bread or whatever else and the men are out hunting or whatever it is. We're living in a system where you can be occupied doing various other things. So when we're now in the system we're in, when you get married, what is the purpose? I.e., before there was generally the tradition of these parents, grandparents, aunties and uncles talk to this family and they're going to marry this guy, this son to this daughter. There was
I
a
can
whole...
answer that. I think now,
Go on.
because we're in the West, yeah. In the West, we've lost the traditional family.
Right.
We've lost the tribe. We've
Okay.
lost the community.
Yep. Right.
So now, when a woman gets married, her husband is her everything. He's her friend. He's her companion.
Right.
He fulfills a lot of her physical needs, her mental needs.
So
her
she relies on him a lot?
financial needs, yeah, vice versa. However, even when she has her children, she
Right.
relies on her husband to help her with the children. Not like before.
So
with
the
your
community
grandma,
support
your
is not
aunt.
there?
Yeah, there isn't now. So this
Okay.
is why I think henceforth, when a man wants to have another wife, in this society now, it is extremely hard, yeah, because she needs her husband for so many things, yeah, for so much. Now, and for him, already he can't fulfill everything, because especially if he's working and he's a provider, so already he's struggling to help you with the kids. Come home shattered from work, you give him the baby, he might fall asleep on the settee, but he's trying. Now he's going to add another wife and other kids. Any woman in her right mind who's normal, yeah, is going to reject that. Do you understand? Because now, like for example, I've got a plate of food. This is my plate of food.
Right.
It's full. Yeah? Someone's going to come and take half of my food. I'm going to get upset. But you take somebody else, hold on, that's the first wife, yeah? So now she's got her plate of food, you're going to take half her food. She's going, what are you doing? That's my food.
Wow.
You bring another person who's got no food, nothing, and you offer her half a plate of food, she's going to take that. That's the
What
second
happens
wife.
to tawakkal to
Yeah?
Allah?
Yeah, tawakkal Allah, you got to do asbab. You got to do asbab. You got to do asbab. Your husband's struggling financially, he's struggling
That's a
you
different
know,
hold
with
on.
the kids.
Would you agree? I just want to go next step. I just want to go one step.
If you're struggling financially, where you going
Let me
with
just say
another
one
wife?
thing.
What are you
I'm
doing?
not saying that.
Right, so we have to go back
If a man
again.
can afford it, then
Again, financially,
I just want to jump up from this.
Is he there for her?
Sorry, let me just jump up just one step now.
I don't think he was listening what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't think
Just one step. I just want to say.
You can.
Therefore, when I
I
said
don't
the
have to
purpose.
say. I can dust.
Therefore, when I said the purpose and goal now, therefore it's a must upon us to seek to make communities
when
which
you say that
provide.
polygamy
I'm
can
saying
work.
whether polygamy or not.
That
You see, I wasn't saying polygamy. I'm just saying based upon the fact of what you said with one wife, one husband. You're saying how that is draining already.
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes.
With that being the case,
Yeah.
the first step we should be thinking is how we're going to create communities
Yeah.
which provide that support.
Alhamdulillah.
100%.
Yes? All right.
I feel like it's just before you even start thinking about having more wives or whatever, just
Master
the community
the first
thing.
marriage.
Master the first marriage and also the people around you and your family. Like I feel that's really
It's
important.
like you've
me-
got a
let me get
first
back to
floor and the
solution. I
first
feel
floor's
more
derelict.
powerful than
You're
Exactly.
going to build the second floor. It's going to
Exactly.
collapse.
Exactly.
It's going to collapse. A lot of men want a second wife. A lot of men want a second wife when they've got problems with the first wife.
Exactly,
Yeah?
yeah.
Thinking that's going
But
to fix it.
sometimes,
But that's going to make it
sometimes it
crumble.
has helped. Yeah?
Come on. That's not the
It
way.
helped him get divorced and get a new wife. That's what it's
Wait, stop.
Gone crazy. Do you know how many sisters have lost their mind?
I know.
They've
They've lost their
mind.
minds because of the
Because
reason
in a
they've both
week,
gone
if
into the
they
marriage.
have
That's
one
what I'm
wife,
saying.
they have more
No,
than
because
they
they've
would
given
do.
their husband
Lost her
110%.
body, and he now can't deal with it. So let me get myself.
Is that
a
the reason?
Kimchi. Of course, it
It's
happens
really
so
that's-
much. Yeah.
Are these men right in their head?
This is the thing. So this man here has actually made a comment
Representing
that is
that.
actually, but it does represent a lot of Muslim
Yes.
men and their opinions.
And I think that's ridiculous,
That's
isn't it?
ridiculous, though. That's
You
wrong.
see what I
That's the
mean?
wrong reason for
Oh, her
marriage.
woman's changed. Her body's changed.
What Issa's presenting
Look
is
at the
about
value of women now that they
community
see.
and building legacy and the purpose
How about the
in
man
reality
gets
is that
fat?
is a lot
How
of
about if the man loses his
who are
hair?
married
How
second
about
wives because
you?
they're
ignorant.
But how about
no
you've
longer
grown
please them?
mentally
That's
and your
wrong.
husband
That's
hasn't?
deep, innit?
You've
It is
read
wrong,
books
we understand
and
that, but that's not
intellectually
changing
you
the
haven't
fact.
grown.
That's true.
What can she
No, but
do?
therefore we have to look at what's the mentality then, innit? Because listen to what he said.
One time,
He was
What if she
coming.
wants to
Yeah,
stay
sorry.
with him?
Go ahead.
Then
That's
she
how I
has
have sabr.
to. Then she has to go according to the Prophet.
Doesn't he should have sabr
Do you
as
see what I
well?
mean?
Why can't he
I'm
have
not
sabr
saying
with her?
yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? Listen to what he's saying.
in favour of him, man.
So imagine that being a marriage with that
Absolutely,
mentality.
yeah.
Can't
When
you?
you fast, you lower the gaze. There's things that you can do.
What if he couldn't?
Well, then no, he can't, then innit?
Then he needs to go pray.
Then he
Basically,
needs to fast.
He needs to
He
go
needs to
pray.
fast.
Just
That's what he needs to do.
prayer, man.
He needs to
Stay
fast.
on prayer, man.
The religion allows you to have another
Yeah,
wife.
but alhamdulillah, the religion also allows you to leave the marriage.
Exactly.
See,
That's
but
my
what happens
point.
is, no, but
That's
there's,
my point.
Yeah, but there's
You
a
can-
stigma. There's a social stigma against any sister.
So because of
who
social
gets-
stigma,
no,
we're
no,
gonna
no,
deny
yeah,
our
let me
religion?
finish what
Let
I'm
finish.
saying. There's a social stigma of sisters who ask for khula, yeah, when a man takes on a second wife, yeah, because what he wants, he needs another wife, and he has desires, he has needs. Alhamdulillah, that's true, yeah. But when the sister's like, I can't take it, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, I'm not interested. I don't want to be with him. I don't love him. I want to khula. It's like, astaghfirullah, sister. Where's your iman? Where's your? That's her right. That's her haq.
I'm not
Allah gave it to
denying
her.
there are men
No, but
who
they-
does that.
So
but
then they're marrying
men-
for the wrong reason, isn't
Not
it?
really.
Yeah.
People grow and they change.
No. I'm talking about what he was talking about. When a man wants another
Let me
wife,
tell you something,
and
brother.
then she grows out
Let
of
me
love
tell
with
you
him.
something.
Yeah,
90%
there's
of
no
men do not tell their wife at the beginning that they're interested in polygamy.
They've already cheated in a
will
sense
never.
because they've already
Yeah.
no. The thing is,
So-
they've already
so-
set up this
yeah.
woman. They've set up the woman. She's already there. Then they go and ask her,
90%
"Can I
of
have
men.
a second? Can I have a second
What
wife?"
does that tell you about
She
90%
says no.
men then?
He gets divorced and has another
Muslim
wife
men.
on the way. Like if she doesn't
No,
want it.
they desire polygamy. Listen what I'm saying.
For
Thank you for that.
90% of the men,
No, I
90%
think
of
it's
the
because
men,
it's there and they're allowed to do it. They just don't understand
No,
it.
they're allowed
That's-
to do it because it's in their nature.
No, but regardless if
let's
it's
say
in
it's
the
in our
nature,
nature.
regardless if it's in their nature or not, they're allowed to do it.
I will say
okay?
one thing though. Let me just say, sorry, just finish.
All right, I'm just saying that they're allowed to do it, and because they're allowed to do it, they think that it is for them. I think that's the issue. I think every man thinks it's for them. It's not for you.
Marriage, if
It's-
marriage is
this
seen wrong in the
for
first
them,
place,
sister.
I'm saying,
it's for certain
it doesn't-
people that are
That's
able
it.
to
That's it.
emotionally.
how do you get to discuss polygamy
I do wanna
as
say
a
one
point
thing, though.
when we haven't even got the thing of marriage? We
Well,
need to
that's
rash that
what-
out
no,
first.
wait, no,
You
that's
spoke
what we're
about
talking
polygamy.
about in the
Huh?
first place.
No, I did, but I said we have to reverse now because I'm saying
You need to nurture. You need to be able to nurture the one
Can I just say
marriage
one thing though?
beforehand.
Yeah, the sister,
In
you-
defense of Islam and Muslims, this is a question I have, and I don't know if any non-Muslims are here, they can answer. Women, that a lot of women are quite happy to be side chicks. Yeah, they're quite happy to.
All right.
Yeah, they're quite
There you
happy
go.
to pretend they don't know that there's another woman and coexist with her. But then,
Okay.
if they become Muslim, reject polygamy. These women, I don't understand. That I would
Exactly.
love to know the difference.
what's the
because
psyche
that means
behind
in
that
her
then?
mind she is polygamous. Yeah,
No, but if-
because as long as you know that your man that you're with now has got 1 or 2 or 3 side chicks, you know about them, and you're accepting, you're still with him,
is
then
it
in
the
a way
poten-
you're in a haram polygamy.
But is it the
That I don't
potential?
get. I don't
Is it
understand that
because
when they become
when you
Muslims.
get married, it is something that is of a higher status,
Then they know
and
later.
if you lose that, you've lost more. So if you're a side chick,
be.
you could just move off.
But still,
Yeah.
But
it's
when
still
you
your
get
man.
married, it's like, boy, you know, I'm investing
staying
my whole
around
life
now.
in that.
Yeah.
You get me?
No, but
'Cause
there's some side chicks that have been around for 10 years, 9 years. They're baby mothers as well. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You think you're the main one, but you know you're not.
But
Like
this
when
is
they
what
go
I'm
to a
saying. So
club,
the structure
side
of
chicks over there.
the
you're
way
over there,
marriage
you know
is
she's
supposed to
there.
be seen, then I'm saying the
I
whole.
don't
We need to
understand.
discuss
I don't
marriage,
understand.
What's the purpose?
how the male and the female is seen.
Okay,
Oh, the man
I
is
got a
supposed to
question for
be.
you, Isa. I got a question for you, Isa.
gosh.
'Cause when we go to Mali and we go to certain places in Africa,
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
make sense for a man who owns land to have several different wives,
Yeah.
lots of different children working the land.
Yeah.
When you come here to the UK,
Yeah.
you got certain men who are living in a council flat.
Yeah.
And they're just about maintaining that council flat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he turns around to his woman and says, I'm going to get a second wife.
Yeah.
And he's not providing for her. And he don't need no extra helping hands in this house because she got everything on hand. It's a two-bedroom flat.
Yep.
So
This is
is he right to be turning around and trying to say, oh, my desires need I need a second wife?
But I never put desires on the table.
Okay,
But
yeah.
can I
I
just
never
say
put
something?
desires. I'm
Can I
talking
add
about up
to-
here.
Can I add to that as
Okay,
well?
for family,
So
okay.
if a man, and we had this conversation last night, if a man feels that he wants to then take up his rights in Islam, things that he's been given rights to, what about the women's rights then? And the fact that you're supposed to provide your wife with hot food on the table. Not your wife has to cook it. You, as a husband, are supposed to give her hot food on the table.
Clothes on her back.
And
Anymore? I know the clothes on the back. Here's the hot
if you
food.
want it,
Here's
if you
one
want
as
it
well. I
invoked,
didn't know
You be getting ready meals.
this
You
is
be
the thing.
getting
If you want
aunties,
it,
man.
this is the thing. You can't.
You know what me could
You get microwave.
Men cannot cherry pick Islam or
no,
cherry
no,
pick their rights.
I hear you.
And this is the thing. So if you think that you have done enough and you've done everything to give your wife what she deserves as a wife, as a woman, then yeah, you can have another wife.
But this is what
I'm good with
what
that.
I'm trying to say is this: once we're approaching marriage in the wrong way in the first place,
Yeah.
with one wife or how many, I'm saying thinking about getting married to more is just going to make it worse.
Yeah, 100%. We were saying
So I'm
this
saying,
earlier.
therefore, what would be the purpose? Because I'm saying everyone or certain people have
But how many
mentioned
brothers
desires,
doing that?
right?
Yeah, they wanna pick
So
up
for
the
instance,
second one.
your wife, you know, maybe stretch marks and whatever else after a baby, whatever these people are talking
This
about.
is shallow, immature men.
I'm
That's
saying,
what we
let me
discussed.
finish
But
this. So I'm
he
saying,
married her for her
bro.
body
I'm
in
saying,
the
wait,
first
bro,
place.
wait.
Yeah,
see what I
but
mean?
No, you're not listening to him.
No, I am. I'm saying it's not. I'm saying if it was an individual saying that, but he's speaking on behalf of Muslim men.
Yeah.
That once you feel she broke down now,
No, but
you can now
generally
move
we
on.
know so many men go for the looks. Come on.
Brother, both go for looks. Both go for looks.
Yeah,
But
women go
but-
for looks and
I
Both
disagree.
go for looks.
Yes, men do.
I disagree.
women don't go for looks.
I disagree.
So
men go for fashion?
I think men go for looks much more than women.
That's true. That's true. But I'm saying,
Just
I agree.
said bold man,
No,
big
in our
belly.
fitra,
So
in our
of course
fitra, a
there's a
woman
look.
goes for power and
A woman goes for what? Power.
Hold
Okay.
on, power and
You know what? You lot
yeah?
need to be.
No, hold on,
You know
let
what?
me
You
finish.
need to share a husband if that's what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but
see
men
now-
out here, yeah,
Not that many
true.
power.
We're talking about.
Hey, not like here. I mean,
Yeah, men out there. In the camp.
The woman,
Not everyone in here. On this side
the
of it.
woman
Yeah.
looks for the
Sorry.
hunter-gatherer, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay,
So
there you
his
go.
genes, the bigger he is, the broader he is, and the more rocks he can bring, and more wood. Yeah. That's what we're like a caveman.
Boy, you see that, fam?
That's what, and the man,
You can make
the
bread,
man
yeah?
looks
On
for
a
the woman
naan
for
bread.
her beauty, and whether she's got
Hummus,
childbearing
falafel.
hips, she's gonna have his children. This is how it all started. Yeah.
Right.
So it's only natural that man's gonna go for beauty, but he shouldn't go for just her beauty. Yeah. He should go for her
Okay.
her character.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Because
you
as a man-
can't deny the fact that a man goes for beauty.
100%,
You can't deny it.
No, but this is the thing.
Man's gonna
You
go
said,
some ugly girl
are you
for the
currently
fact
married?
Divorced.
You're divorced. Like, this is the
No,
thing.
but I had a good run, 17 years.
That was a good run.
Okay, that's a good length, right? But
Especially
the
for
thing
what's
is,
going
you
on today.
could, but you could,
6
exactly.
month marriage, boy.
This
6
is
month,
what I was
1
going to
year,
say.
if
So
that.
in this day and age,
I'm saying a lot of
whenever-
man.
17 years.
in the climate that we currently have and the way that people act and how men treat their relationships, how women treat relationships in general, we're not going to have these stories where we have our grandparents have been together for 60 odd years. 17
Right.
years is clapped. We're clapping at 17 years. Like, think
Alright,
about it.
fair
No,
enough.
I'm sorry. I'm
man.
not belittling it, but I'm just saying. Obviously, if the foundation is right, then your marriage is going to last forever. And you're fighting through every.
So what was their mentality then?
That's what he's trying to say.
The
though.
mentality.
I'm saying the
It's
mentality
because-
when grandma and great grandma got together, there was a
Building
whole
a
different
family and
world
a legacy.
paradigm.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we collectively, men and women, must have bought into another paradigm that we're looking into when we go into marriage. And I'm saying we need to change that. And therefore, when we're choosing a partner,
At the moment,
Yeah, but
it's so throwaway. I think it's because we have the internet and we're able to see everybody in the world. We've got more access to everyone in the world. So back in the day, you would be living in wherever the area you
you've
live.
got a small choice.
And exactly, you've got a small choice.
But
now,
what about the fact that the parents are doing it?
But it's also about the durability. How many of us sit here and actually want to work out our relationship?
Exactly.
The first thing is we turn to is divorce because it's halal.
Or there's
I
another
want
Yeah,
woman
because of the
that's
reason,
better
the
looking than
mentality
you or
that
whatever.
used to get into it in the first place. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying before you got into it,
What was the purpose
What
that you
was
got
the-
married?
like
But
first?
you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that
Why you guys keep
you
going
add,
Sorry,
what you're saying is that
Sorry.
you will add another female
No.
rather than
I brought it back. No,
He's trying
sister.
to bring it
I
back
brought
to
it
the
back
start
to
now. Oh, sorry.
just marriage.
Okay.
I'm saying,
Why are people?
you
Why
put
are
on the
people
table.
getting-
You put on the table.
Okay.
Hunter gatherer, yeah.
Why
And
are
it's
people?
strong.
Can we just open it up then for just
go ahead,
us,
yeah.
for everyone that's here listening?
Yeah. No. Go.
Enough people.
Why?
So, all right, let's change the
Sorry,
topic.
guys, are you listening?
Purpose of marriage,
Yeah?
right?
Are you listening
We
to
got
this one?
the looks
One
of
second, can I open it up? Remember,
I never said that.
No, it's part of the
It's
topic.
sister circle. Sister circle.
It's sister circle.
Sister
It's part of the
circle.
topic.
Yeah, I'll let you. But why? Your question was,
Yeah.
why are people going into marriage? What is the
What's the
reason
purpose?
for? What's
Yeah.
the purpose for marriage? So can anyone here? Does anyone have like something that they feel is different or?
You love her.
Okay,
Love.
they are. That's the
All right,
one.
love. Our babies are moving together.
Partnership.
Possession of half your deen.
Companionship.
Complete half your deed.
Start a
Money,
family.
then
Start a
people
family.
buy business or
So
something.
once you've produced your family, once you've started your family,
Intellectual growth.
Community building.
intellectual growth, you see? Now we're getting somewhere.
Yes,
Because once you
100%.
produce the kids, then what? You get what I'm saying? If you're going it for kids,
Me personally, I've lived by myself for like 12 years, yeah? I can do everything a man could possibly even think of doing within a household. So
okay.
I don't need a man. If we look at, no, this is the thing. But in that, but why, no, the reason why, this is why, I'm not finished.
Let her land.
But I do need wait a second.
Go on.
But I do need a man, obviously one to complete half my deen, but actually emotionally. For me to be a full person emotionally,
Right.
I need the companionship of a man. Me being by myself every night is not great.
Right.
To be in my house by myself and to do whatever, call my friends, or what, it's not good. I'm not having any, so there's no substance. Well, that's inappropriate. Do you want to just like go away? Sorry, I just forgot my train of
Ignore it,
thought.
man.
But I need
Okay, so you need
more.
companionship.
Look at the speakers.
But this-
I
this
need
is the
more
thing.
than what I can give to myself.
Okay,
Do you
no,
know
no.
On a
what?
different-
That's
on an emotional
that's also
level.
because we're in the West.
Yeah, 100%. Like I wouldn't be
Yeah.
in,
But
I
this
wouldn't be
is
living
where-
myself
If we
though
were in Africa
everywhere.
or somewhere else,
But I'm saying,
you would
look
need
at
to be
the
married
culture.
just for your safety,
For all those different
finances.
things, exactly.
Okay.
So that plays
Let
a
me
big
ask you
role
this.
as why women
The
are
sisters
independent.
that you
Let me
know-
finish.
Sorry,
Why
go
women
on.
are so independent and why I think, and it's not putting the blame on the men or the women, but I feel the being so independent, being in the West, makes it easier for people not to be married.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
and to be like, and not work so hard on a marriage to keep it together, because if you become single parent or single, you've got the benefit system.
Exactly.
If you're in danger, you call the police. There's so much things. So I think the West does play a role in maybe a little bit of the breakdown of the family. On top of it, we don't have an extended family. I remember when my mum and dad used to have problems, the elders used to come.
Yes.
Yeah? The elders would come and they'd be like, come on, what's your problem? What's your problem? That's not a big problem. You love your wife, your husband loves you, you got children, khalas, say bismillah, and they'd all get up and leave. And because of the respect of the elders, my parents stayed together. Yeah? And I think if they weren't there, like obviously me, I ended up getting divorced because there were no elders. There was no one for us to look up to. And the imam, the problem with the imam, especially with men, I'm going to put it on men here, with the testosterone levels, they don't listen to the imam. And the imam can't force nothing. He's not a qadi. So he goes to the imam, and the imam says, Akhi, you got to stop doing this. Akhi, you got to stop doing that. Sister, you got to do this. And he goes back and then he says to her, bun that brother. He don't know what he's talking about. We're never going back to him again. And the problems remain. And then what happens? The sister ends up having enough and ends up in divorce.
Okay, what I wanted to ask.
It's about the
Do
choices.
wait. Do you know of any groups of sisters that have formed some sort of network where when, let's say, a young sister's becoming 18, 19, 20, where they're saying, right, let's look for a husband for him,
Yeah, we used to.
and vice versa?
I used to do that.
So
But-
there is,
but-
I'm
but
saying
the
a group,
problem
I
let's
think
say,
you do that within your friends, do you not?
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
help
but
each
No,
other.
I used to do that. But what
I'm saying,
happens
let's say
is
one sister's
you never
got a
really,
daughter.
yeah, you never
then-
really know a brother. Because
Huh?
I used to do that. I used to, in
Assist
my
people.
community,
Recommend and that.
assist marriages and even do the akaz in
And
my
what would be the
house,
basis
But what
for
happens
you
is
matching people?
are chameleons. Yeah, so a brother's gonna bring his best self.
Always,
And the
but I feel
sister-
women are
but
gonna
I
do
think
that
that's
as
not
well,
the way.
yeah.
Let me
That's not the
finish,
way
but with what do you mean it's not the way?
No.
We know them. We grew up within our community, but you never know a man until he's her husband. You never know a sister until she's a wife. So the brother's gonna come with his best way forward. You're gonna help them get married, and then he's either gonna be maybe violent, or he's not gonna want to work, or he's gonna be super strict, or he's gonna be super something. And that's what made my community pull back. That's why I stopped
recommendations
facilitating marriages, because you think you know someone and you end up not knowing him. You only know what you see of him. Mashallah, goes to the masjid, so he's working. Mashallah, he's got his beard, alhamdulillah. You know what I'm saying? And you think, yeah, it's a young man, he's a good brother. Yeah, but that's how you get to know someone.
So how would you choose someone though? That's what I'm saying. How would you then?
personality.
They recommend first that you go and ask about the guy,
Yes,
his family,
we did all that.
his
We've done all of
friends.
that. We've done
his
all of
culture,
that.
his-
We've done all of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
enough.
but you still don't know.
enough.
You
But
still
then-
don't know until he's
person,
until he's a husband.
We get ups and downs.
No, but if it's violent.
But all right, what if I say? What if I say?
There's four things. Is there not four things that
To live with somebody.
to
what
live
is
with
it? Oh, no,
someone,
no,
to
no.
travel with
She's not
someone,
allowed out.
to do business
You
with
didn't know
someone,
everything
and there's
like
one
that.
more. Those are the
Family.
four
But
things.
all right,
that
so
you
what
really
are the
know.
questions you get asked?
To have a complete circle to know exactly the right person for the right woman.
Sister,
Otherwise,
Then the mum comes
any
to
marriage
you
will
and
not
says to you,
work.
I gave you my daughter,
Because if you just
recommended the brother,
give people like
he's
that, it
violent,
won't work.
he smokes,
We have to
drugs.
see like his family, friends, relatives.
You're not
Yeah,
listening.
and if I
They're
do
saying
that,
they've done that, and
And
he
it's
still
still-
turns out to be somebody that is not nice. In other words, they got married. Everything seems to be fine on the surface.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, if you want to know a true person, first look, don't to be fooled by his prayers or his fasting or whatever religious things he does, because it's not the way.
Okay.
The only way is if he's really, when it's a prayer time, he keeps his praying time. As well, he's a truthful person.
Okay, but how are we going to see that?
Guys, we're having two separate
Good question.
that's-
Good question.
Okay.
You go and ask his friends, family, and you know the truth. That's the only way.
Okay. So there's certain questions you should be asking.
Of course, yes. You need to know the person. Of course, how are you going to give your
I
daughter to
think
somebody?
this is my point of I was going to ask the sister to what would be a list. What would be a list that you would say, right?
It's not what we
But this is
want.
the thing, you know what? So those lists, no
The
wait.
Prophet Muhammad
I'm talking about
recommend.
how-
What is recommend? What
The
he
thing
recommend you
is,
should do first.
the lists don't work in this society. This is the thing.
So if you had
Because-
100 questions-
Yeah, but this is the thing. But I'll
Well, you
tell
could
you
catch
from
them up.
experience. I'll tell you from experience
Come on.
that we don't mess about when we're trying to find a husband, right? Me and my friends, we don't mess about. So we do have a list and we have questions, and they are deep questions that you wouldn't probably ask somebody. But if I'm trying to marry somebody in the best way and the most halal way, I need to try and get to know them. How do you get to know somebody, like you said, without asking questions?
No,
But at the same time,
you don't do that.
No, no,
What happens?
No, don't.
I recommend you. What we do? We send a man to go and ask about this guy, his family, his friends, his neighbors.
Okay, yeah, that's fine,
That's
because
the way
we've
you
already
know
got
this
to that. No, but
person
this is
if
the
he's
thing.
worthy.
We're going
But
to
we've
be
already,
married.
we've already got to that
Still
person.
doesn't
So now
work.
he's a candidate. He's gone past that.
So in other
It's
words,
the
he's
end of the world,
he's ticked
probably.
all of those. What I'm saying
Now
is,
it's
the
now
other
it's the list
questions
of things
on a
like
psychological
Same thing can go
Do you know
together with
what
the
it
women
says
as
there?
well.
How many times you sit with the brother and you say to the brother, look, the sister, she wants to study. He says, yes, alhamdulillah, she's got a problem, she can go to work. Sister, she doesn't wear niqab, she just wants to wear hijab.
Okay.
No problem. Sister wants to work.
And she doesn't want to be married a second wife.
She doesn't want a second wife, no problem. She wants to work. Alhamdulillah, I don't mind my wife working. And brother, do you work? Yes. She gets married. He says, you got to wear niqab, for example. You can't go out. You're not allowed to
Exactly.
work.
They got you now.
Hold
All
on.
of this, I've heard from scholars, they say it can
So
be
now
put
what?
on agreement.
Doesn't matter. I had shurut in my
Yeah.
haqq. My husband went against it. Now what?
This
Now
means
what?
this guy, this
So
I don't
you
want
got-
this guy.
you either have
This
stubborn
guy
or you
who
divorce.
does not respect these rules, he's not a true
Are you in this
believer.
planet?
She's already
No,
married
no,
though.
that's
married
the
to
thing.
him.
They're now already married.
married.
That's what
No, this guy is not a true believer. He's
You're
just
not
practicing.
listening.
Okay, so the questions.
Or if it was a
That's what I
test
said.
for
We
him.
always
Yeah.
just say it as a test.
I was about to say that, you know.
I gotta get
When
Kalam
it comes to the questions, when it comes
Sisters do it as well. Sometimes sisters say, I've never been with a man.
Yeah.
I've never been married. I have no children. She's got her children with the mum, the grandma. She says she's never had a relationship. She has. Women do it as well.
Yes,
You know,
that's-
she says I've been wearing hijab 10 years. She's been wearing 6 months. So it's not
You have
just,
to hire a detective probably
it's
to
not,
do
it's not
all
just the
truth.
men. It's
This
not
is
just
what
the
I'm
men.
saying.
No,
It's
but can I
scary.
finish what I was going to say?
Scary.
So that when it comes to the questions, brothers out here don't want to be answering those questions. Or why is she asking like these? They're not comfortable
Sometimes
with
to
it
put off.
because exactly the put off. Like she's asking, why is it an interview?
crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But I
interview.
feel it comes
Why
down.
should it
It
not
comes
be-
down to that's what I was going to say. It comes down to your parents, and if you're ready for marriage, your parents should be telling you that these are the questions that you're supposed to be asking. So the fact is, if we do scenarios, so we say, oh, if I get home from work and I'm feeling tired and you're feeling tired, who's cooking the dinner?
Neighbors.
But this is the thing. But these are questions you want to know. Like it might be trivial, but these are things that will cause arguments in a marriage. So if the guy goes, well, you're cooking, like, of course you're cooking. Like, I
If
mean,
both of
like,
them working, they can afford
Wait a
to hire a
second.
cook.
He's saying you're cooking. From that, I know this isn't a guy for me because I need a man that's going to be like, well, I mean, like, yeah, we'll see, like, exact, just like making a compromise. Somebody that is willing to compromise and is actually willing to have a relationship.
You're saying you both work.
Sorry?
Your scenario was you both work.
Yeah, we're both tired. It doesn't matter what it is.
So you're saying
this
you're
is the
both
thing.
tired. Okay.
Even for him to go, oh, what am I at work and you're at home looking after the kids? We're not putting the guy forward either. Because if he thinks that my job as looking after the kids is less than him going out to work, it's not the kind of man we want to marry. But these are the questions.
He's going to think you're high maintenance.
Sorry?
Hair where you should have.
children because nurture is embedded in you. I can't get pregnant.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's not talking about pregnancy, she's talking about equality in marriage.
So as a man, God has put certain things to me, and as a woman, certain duties to you.
But then
Islam
that means
is a religion that tells you what is your duty.
It goes along with nature, yeah?
Duty. So if I come from work and you stay at home mum, yes, you have to cook.
She said both working.
No, because what he's saying is being a stay-at-home mum isn't working. He's saying it's less than him going out. So if my husband goes and sits on a desk, he's a banker. Wait a second. So
No, but do you not say that her work is hard?
No, he's saying no. The woman's at home. It's less
Looking
than.
after kids, yeah, it is her job.
Yes, of course.
No, but you put both jobs have energy. You put energy into looking after kids, you put energy into people going to work. There's still the same energy putting in. So how are you saying his tired is more?
But he's saying part of staying home.
Yeah.
So if he comes
Part
home
of her
and
job at
tired,
home is to cook.
and there is no
That's what he's
food,
saying.
you would say, oh, I was looking the kids all day, I'm tired, I can't cook for you.
Looking after the kids.
It depends on the situation.
I've been looking after your children, subhanAllah, our children, then, and I'm now tired.
Your children in our psychology. You see that? You see the psychology?
Your kids.
You see that Freudian snippet? Your children, you know? You have to pay for your children. See
And
that?
I'm tired.
Not my
It's all
children.
coming out, bro.
You
Not our
need,
children.
I think what the issue is that your men are not seeing the housewife
talking about
or the
myself. If it was me,
homemaker
I'd say, I'll
as
take
a
away,
job.
darling.
It is a
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
therefore
Yeah.
I'm
Take
tired
away.
and you're tired. What's
So
the
this
it's
is
a
the thing.
teamwork. In the end, it's a teamwork. It has to be
100%.
whoever is tired helps the one who's not tired helps the tired one. It's a team, whether it's the man or the woman. There's no point.
But have you noticed we're talking about this, where in other communities, like they'd be so involved with other sisters and brothers that you wouldn't have to keep cooking all the time. Because I'm saying in other cultures, you'd be going to other people's yard all the time. You'd be mixing, and children would be going to their house. And do you get me? I'm just saying.
Somebody else will cook for you.
That's just one
what I'm
question.
saying.
I'm just saying that was an example for
That
one
was to get
question.
the mentality of the brother.
Exactly.
I understand that. And this is what I was saying, where the questions don't have to be on point of religion, do you pray, da da da.
Exactly. No, it's just
I'm saying the
day-to-day.
question are trying to break down what this guy or woman are really about.
Yeah, day to
So
day.
what are they deep? I'm saying what will unfold so that you can predict what will unfold later. If this circumstance happens, what will you be like this? If that comes about, what will you be like? Do you get what I'm saying?
I feel we had this conversation slightly, and I said like one thing that I feel is a good question to ask somebody that you want to marry is that if I lost my legs, would you still be with me?
Didn't Kevin Hart say this about a
fair
woman
enough.
where a shark bit
This
off a
is
woman's leg?
very unique situation.
If I lost my
You
legs,
should
you
be.
know.
You should look after you. One same you should look after them.
Why would he leave you? If he marries you for your looks in the first place,
Yeah, but this is no.
Don't you think that question's right?
come on.
No, this is the thing. Wait, this guy just said.
It's possible.
Women have lost
Okay,
their breasts.
everyone. Yeah. You literally just said, do you not think that question's too much? How can you expect to marry somebody if you can't deal with a simple question like that? This is the thing. Like, how can you know, listen. All right, okay, so there are. So basically we're saying that when you're trying to get to marry somebody, there's certain questions. Sorry?
Because it gives them an insight into
So
the
I
psyche
can see
of
what
the man.
kind, exactly.
She wants to be sure that the man will be with her.
Exactly.
You know he's ducking out,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You
That's
know
too
he's
much.
ducking out.
Hold on, but do
As
you
soon as
really
check match
think
is
that
gone.
man will say to you
My
no?
mother never asked such a question.
Don't want them.
A lot of the time,
Oh, look, come on, man.
I don't know
think
anyone
like
who asked that.
let immediate
It's a new
replies,
world,
they
man.
hesitate.
Your mum and
Okay.
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 You know what? Brother, come on
Let's
here,
bring
please.
it.
Come
Let's
on
bring
here.
it. Let's bring it
No,
down.
no,
a
come on
second.
here, please. Come
I
on,
don't
brother.
know anyone who asked that question, and I know plenty of people.
This is a new world. This is different.
I live
I want
in
this
a
guy
new
to
world.
talk. He's cracking me up.
You're saying why would you ask that question?
I'm saying I find that question a bit dramatic because I've never heard any.
Okay, if I
anyone that I know
as a woman,
in the new world
all right,
who
okay,
ask such a question.
all right. So if a woman
I don't
says,
understand.
okay, so if you said if I get cancer, if I get cancer and lose my hair or I lose my breasts, would you still be with me? That is an appropriate question. How is it inappropriate to ask
That
somebody?
happens a lot today.
I get what you're trying to say, but I don't understand that this question to be the norm.
But who cares if it's the norm?
It's
We're literally what we're trying to do is we're trying to make marriage last longer. We're trying to actually
They
have
want to get
meaningful
a partner.
marriages.
They want to get a partner where it's going to work.
Yeah, so you're determining whether cancer is a question.
No. She's using. Hang on. She's asking a whole host of questions in order to determine whether your character is suitable for
I
her.
can give you ample evidences of successful marriages where such dramatic questions have been asked.
It's not about the question. Listen, you're taking this question and you're running with it. It's not about the
We're
specific
talking about
question.
mum,
It's
grandma,
about
great grandma.
it's about situational questions.
Because you must have just joined in at the.
Because
You
listen,
literally
what
joined
it
in
does,
late.
for instance,
Yeah,
if somebody
exactly.
says no to that question, what does that tell the woman about that man?
But there's people that got married without.
No. Answer the question.
But how many people are getting? This is the thing.
Let me ask you another question. Who would answer no?
It doesn't work like that.
But this is the thing. This is
Somebody
the thing.
would.
Some people exactly. And do I really want to be
He
with?
would over there.
But this is the thing. But even at that, that's not a put off. That's not me saying that I don't want to be with him because he said no.
You know where you stand.
Exactly.
I know I
If
stand.
he can be
I better
honest
keep
with those
myself.
kind of.
At least I can prepare myself. He's going to go missing.
know
But he
what
might not though.
It's just-
He might say that.
It's
And
not.
then later when he's
it's
so
not-
in love with
the
you,
thing is,
he's
let's
so
not
in
be
love with
so
you, he
net-
stays.
Right. Okay.
It might work the other way around
I'll
too.
give you a real life
It might work the other way around.
Okay, 1 second.
My own sister died of
Wait a
cancer.
second. It's a women's circle.
Sisters get priority.
So
I'm
this
not
is
making it. My own sister died of cancer. She had a husband. That question
Yeah,
was
we have a
asked.
few times.
okay. That's fine.
Brother, you're
When the-
taking
when the
You don't
situation
understand. You don't
When
understand
the
what.
situation happened, he did take care of her.
Yes. Okay. But this.
Brother,
Okay.
you're seeing
why
this question
You're
as
jumping-
to,
no, the thing
you're cocooning it. It's about asking
I'm
situations.
asking
Listen
you,
to me.
why
She
this
can have
question
another
about-
question
Let
as
me
well.
answer your
This
question.
is a
It's
woman's
about-
corner.
example.
This
It's
is for
about
the sisters to
asking-
speak. Now wait a second. Just so you understand what's going on here, it's a sisters' corner. So it means the sisters dominate the corner. They dominate the conversation. Okay. So when she's speaking, okay.
Can I just say
So
something?
she
Add
can
to
carry
this, yeah?
on.
No matter how many questions you ask somebody, yeah? Number one, there are a lot of people that are.
The sisters talking.
Wait, Robert.
There are a lot of people that are disingenuous. So they're not gonna. You never know. Number two is people grow and change.
Yeah.
So if I present myself to you today, I want my needs and my wants today. It may not be the same needs and wants 3 or 4 or 5 years down the line. Hence why a lot of times polygamy pops up when there's children, when the stress levels are high, when maybe you're disinterested in your husband, you're not as interested as you was before because you have children, and the man might then start
has the
feeling left
person
out
changed?
or neglected. Yeah, you do change.
No. What is lasting? In other words,
That's why I haven't finished.
is that a manifestation of what they were about?
So what should happen is, if you've got a sincere, good, practicing brother, what he should do is ride the wave with you, and he should grow with you. Because now, where you was this romantic young couple, now you've gone into adulthood and parenthood, and you ride that wave because the children don't stay little forever.
Exactly.
They grow really, really quick. Yeah. And so what unfortunately happens is a lot of men, they don't have that sabr for like the 5, 6, 7 years in when the woman has kids and they don't have that sabr. Hence they start looking elsewhere, or they just completely disengage. They go out a lot, they spend a lot of time outside. They don't ride the wave, because if they ride the wave, when the child gets 9, 10, now the mum reverses back to being the best friend and the nurturer, and then you work together bringing up your children. And that's what I think happens in a lot of relationships where the man, I'm not just blaming the man, but the woman, because she is the mum, she does get lost in the kids. Yeah, and maybe she does put on weight, and maybe she is a little bit dishevelled. She's not the same person as she was. Yeah, maybe she's suffering from postnatal depression, and maybe she's feeling a bit low because she hasn't achieved what she wants in terms of a job. Maybe she's not working anymore. She thought that she'd be maybe a lawyer or engineer or whatever, but she's the mother. If you just ride that wave, inshallah you'll get her back.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "التقي إذا حب زوجته أكرمها وإذا أبغضها لم يظلمها." Translate to English. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace upon him and his household, he said, the true believer, pious person, if he loves his wife, he will be generous to her, and if he hates her, he will not oppress her. So a taqi, taqi person, there's about 90 points about a person to become a taqi. So it's not an easy one. For women to deserve a person like that, she should reach that level as well to be granted such a man. A golden man like that should deserve a golden woman like that. So woman, she should perfect herself as much as possible to deserve a man like that.
The woman is a bent rib, isn't she?
Exactly,
what happens
as
if
well.
You try to straighten the rib?
True.
You break it.
Yeah.
So you have to, like we are emotional.
Exactly.
And why is it ta'a sema ta'a? Why?
Yeah,
Sema ta'a because the man, he protects, and he provides. Yeah. So if you protect and you provide for your wife, then at the end of the day, she is going to listen to you, respect you, and obey you. But they come hand in hand. A lot of the times, the man, he's not protecting, he's not providing, but yet he wants all his rights.
The problem with majority of men, because they don't know their rights and they don't know their duties. That's the problem.
No.
We don't have. Let me finish.
They know their rights. They don't know their duties.
Okay. But they don't practice. They don't practice it. So there's no point of this. The point is, nobody can guarantee nothing. If we follow the Prophet's teachings about the successful marriages, how you choose a man, how you choose a woman, and we combine this is you will get the whole world will get the best possible marriage. Nobody can get anything else than that.
The young people now.
Yes, exactly.
What I'm saying is,
and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad is still great.
The young generation, it's not your age, my age.
Yes, yeah.
What they're looking for in a wife or a husband is completely different to what we were looking for. The traditional man, the traditional wife. There's so much social media. Of course, because we live here. It's our country.
Life changes.
So we have to adapt.
This guy, can I just say, right? You hold the thing. This guy is desperate to
say something.
I just wanted to say, coming back to what you said, without attacking you or anything like that, I'm saying a woman could be happily married without asking such a question. I said dramatic just for the sake of...
I'll tell you what happened before, because you obviously came in a bit late.
My question was, then why is it a woman who doesn't need to ask such a question, but she can live a happily married life, but another woman feels the need to ask such a question, which can be or cannot be viewed dramatic?
It's not about the question.
It's not exactly. So the thing
is, what's going on in that woman's head?
Okay. That's not even. Let's just take it way back from where you're trying to take it. This is the thing. What we're talking about is the fact that when you try to find somebody to marry, the marriage is not lasting these days, because people are not finding out if the person is compatible for them in the first place. So what we're saying is there's certain things that you can do to find about the compatibility of the person and them as a character. The question was an example of questions that you could ask somebody, but a lot of brothers are like yourself that will turn around and go, that question's a bit deep in it. How the hell am I supposed to have a marriage with you, to raise children with you, and you can't answer a simple question?
I don't have a
question.
No,
wait a second. Okay, don't. Get somebody else who does.
The question. Exactly. The question is too deep for you.
If you can't handle such a question,
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point of the question. That's the whole point in the question in itself. Because as soon as I give a list to a brother and he goes, "Oh no, you're interviewing me. This is too much," or whatever. Bye.
Don't give him yourself, because he'll feel threatened. If he's strong enough, he can take it. But if he's not strong enough to take this list,
I don't want him either. Then
let me get to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Try to get this list. Try to get this list to somebody else. Yes, to find out if your list does it match on this person or doesn't.
This is what I'm saying. Arguing the case that that's based on fear.
It's based on fear. It's wise to be fearful.
Do you know why we have fear? Because the female, right, at the end of the day, her husbands, they get counted, not like the brother, yeah? Even if you say brother's been married 4 times, then I'm skin, wonder what happened to him. But if you say sister just twice, sister's been married twice, she's got that social stigma. Yeah, what's wrong with her? Do you understand me? What's wrong with her?
age,
And
everything
I don't want to have a...
That's your duty to change this viewpoint
Yeah,
as
yeah.
mothers, as sisters.
That's why we're here.
Exactly.
That's why we're here. But he's saying, why are you scared? Because we're scared because...
Yeah, you have your
to
right
make- to
because you
make
have
that-
challenges.
yeah,
Because
because
the
the
majority of
consequences.
Muslim men, they see something easier and easier to get somewhere else. You need to show them that what you have in this marriage, what these sisters have, you cannot get anywhere else.
They know the brother got one
Halal.
kid, he was married, they won't marry him.
Open up, please. Get
I
back.
think it depends. I actually no, I think it depends.
Sister, I have had lists.
I tell you why. Can I answer your question?
Can I get my point?
Can I ask you a question? Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Because I used to do this with marriage, yeah? All right? And what I found with the brothers and the sisters,
Wait a second.
the problem was consistent. The problem was
I'm not like
unrealistic expectations of both. So you find the brother, for example, I'm just going to give an example. He's at 41, yeah, with 3 children. He's been married twice. He wants a 19-year-old virgin. Yeah? Let me just finish. He's 41. Yeah? He wants a sister.
Hello. Anyone for the brother? 44.
Then you have on the other side the sister. Maybe she's 29. She's never been married.
No
so
kids?
She's got no kids. And then you speak to her and you say, sister, what do you want? She said, you know what? Because I'm 29 and I've got a degree, I'm doing my master's. I want an engineer, and he's got to own his own house, and he's got to be never married, and he's got to be, mashallah, 6 foot, for example.
Okay.
Am I going to create this person for you? I can't. So what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about you, but I'm just in general, the Muslim community, they don't have realistic expectations. Because when I'm going to go to a 19-year-old girl and I say, do you want to get married as a brother? Who is he? He's 41, he's got 4 children. He works in Carfar Warehouse. She's going to say no. Because she's going to want a 24-year-old young man,
But the
maybe he's got to do it.
expectation of the 40-year-old
So the
to marry at
44-year-old,
19
yeah. So
is
40,
not fair.
Okay, so
No, but even if she's 24,
yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Even if
That's
she's
fair.
even if she's
my eyes, that's
25.
No, I'm going to say something
But at 25,
controversial. Women have...
Look, the whole part.
Brother, you've got to be realistic because
we know in reality I was married.
You should
I was-
a divorcee man with kids should maybe marry a divorcee sister with maybe 1 child, or maybe a divorcee sister with no children.
Yeah, stop going for the virgin women.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
I'm marrying a
Stay in
woman.
your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
You saying that
100%.
you created innovation now.
100%.
By you
I'm
saying
being
that,
realistic.
The sister...
I'm being
No,
realistic.
what I'm saying
being
is-
realistic.
I'm
you're-
marrying a sister.
I don't know.
She's 9 years older than me with 4 kids.
Yes, it's fine. Yeah. I got married to a brother with all my children.
Yeah, good man.
That's not the problem. The issue is,
So
I don't want
she's
You're the
to-
exception,
that's
not
the
the rule.
exception to the rule.
Exactly. You're the exception, not the
the
rule.
way you're looking at it. It's
they're
I'm not saying,
assessing the
I'm
situation
not
as it
saying
is.
everyone has
The
to.
real
What I'm
situation.
saying is,
The majority.
We're talking about majority
there's
of problems
lists,
today.
yeah? If you go to the masjid, there's lists. Hundreds of brothers that are single, hundreds of sisters that are single. WhatsApp groups, yeah? Do you know how many WhatsApp groups I've been added to? And when I look and I read, the criteria, no one's getting married. Why? Because the expectations of the men and the women, they're not meeting. The brothers are outside, they're coming out their lane, and the sisters are not in their lane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I've got
100%.
daughters. I've got
100%.
daughters. And if I bring, like, for example, someone to come to me and say, oh, there's a brother, he's 31 for your daughter, my daughter's 19. They're like, well, he's old. But he's not old. But to them, he's old.
But this is the
Do you
problem now,
understand me?
see?
So it's like,
They're reading a tradition that they're holding on to as a Muslim, where that there is ideal within that framework, but may not be within this system.
but it's not happening. So we've got to get things.
Do you think
It's not
though?
working.
Do
We're
you
not
think a
getting
man
married.
that's been out, right? This is the thing. Do you think a man is compatible with a woman if he's been out, he's done everything he wants to do, slept here, slept there, and whatever, and then he's been married, divorced, got a couple of kids, and now he wants a fresh woman. This is the thing. He wants a virgin woman that's just literally. No, that's what I'm saying. He
No,
don't
but you
want
make
one-
it sound like the
this
one
is-
who's not a
this is
virgin
the thing.
is like she's sport like the non.
That's exactly
You make
how
it
it's
sound.
put.
Oh, you're saying that's how they see it.
That's not how I see it.
Okay.
Exactly. That's how they see it. Like they'll prefer a woman that hasn't been with
Have you
anybody.
noticed how all of this is? All the problems are you're not looking at the character of the person, whether she's a virgin or
Yeah,
not.
it's
What's the
unrealistic
damn character?
expectations.
No, because I'm
Yes,
saying the
well,
character
yes,
is
well-
the bottom line for everything. All of the things you lot are complaining about.
Yes.
I'm saying unless you're looking at character and your goals, your identity. Who are you? Am I compatible based upon what we're trying to achieve in life?
Yeah, but that's
So,
not the reality.
all right,
That's not the reality.
okay, the word insan, right? Or nas, mankind, yeah? In the Quran, in Arabic. The root word anisa, is it anisa or anisa?
Anisa,
It means, anisa means to be sociable. I'm saying sociable. This system is making sure that you can't be that way. I'm saying
do you mean?
the
Can you
way
elaborate?
societies back in the day used to be. Even let's say when Afro-Caribbeans came here, even if you lived like, you know, on the next street or whatever, there was still a community among
Yeah, but
you.
society a long time ago,
And
the
that was-
divorcing
I'm
kids used
saying
to get
what the
married.
problem. I'm saying what the problem is if we're defined by Allah as sociable beings, and this system, as you said, is creating a man, a female, and their kids, and they're kind of isolated in that way, the way the system has been built. Then to me, you're never going to solve it until you get back to this sociable system
That was
where you have
undefined.
community.
People knew about it. Unspoken.
No, it was natural.
Yeah,
That's
it's
I'm saying the
unspoken.
community thing, the
If me
community
and you
spirit
believe to that
was
community,
the
it was
only.
unspoken.
For instance, some people spend too much time together. You don't get a chance to miss each other. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you end up asking questions and arguing over foolishness. You get me? So if you don't see each other that much, you really appreciate when you do see each other. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's how it seemed to be back in the day. And all them men that used to work, and those marriages lasted longer.
But you're right. I think like in this climate that we live, even though we're not sociable, we are sociable in the sense that there's social media, which actually makes us. It gets us to the access to everybody. Like I made the point earlier on, you have access to everyone in the world. You are not. We're not in this country. We're not limited. So with
When I meant
that.
sociable, sorry, I meant as in a community spirit, face to face. You're seeing, you're meeting.
As neighbors, as community families.
I'm saying,
from a community,
like,
and we
all right,
understand
kids,
each
for
other's
instance,
values.
a lot of
But
kids.
it's taken, but that's what I'm saying. The social media has taken
Has
that away.
replaced it.
Exactly, and your
you're saying
social
that's the problem.
networks are online, and it's
Okay.
with people
So how can
all
we get
over
it
the
back? 'Cause
world.
I'm suggesting the problem is number one, the people are not going for character.
Yeah.
Number two, even if you went for character, the society, the construct of community is missing. In other words, for instance, you heard of the Hebrew Israelites
Yes.
in America.
Yeah.
Have you seen how they built their community? They got polygamy, and you know some choose it and not. But they're such a tight community.
You know why that is? Because we're
But
too
that
busy-
doesn't work.
we're
That
too
doesn't work in
busy
real life
fighting each
here now.
other. You're Sufi, you're Shi'i, you're Sunni.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Listen,
If we had a
I'm
big
saying
community
even among.
centre-
Hold on, wait. Listen.
Yeah, but hold on. If we
Even
had a
amongst
big
each
community
group.
centre, yeah, but we do. Like the Moroccan community.
I'm saying each
Arab
group has
world,
enough
there is a
people.
community. Pakistani community, there's a
No,
community.
no.
If you're talking about an Islamic community, like to have, sorry, I just assumed you're Pakistani. If we had like you're talking about a community, mashallah, where all the Muslims got together,
No,
the
never
brothers
happened.
together,
Never
sisters
happened.
together, the children, but because
build
we're
whatever
too
you
busy
have in
fighting
common,
with each
brother.
other.
Well,
But we
yeah,
should.
great, but
No, you-
I'm
do
saying
you promote that?
it's not going
Be
to
completely
get there.
honest. Do you
I'm
promote
saying,
that?
yes, I do. 100%.
Yes, monkeys and savages.
Oh, hear this now.
Hold
You see where you've drawn it?
Yeah.
You see where you've brought it to?
No, but I'm saying
wait,
it.
I'm confused.
Before
Why
we-
would
He said that to the extremist guys
Yeah, but
only.
yeah, before
Exactly.
we speak, we gotta be honest.
Okay, so be honest now. Let's
I'm
get, since you brought it up,
You know,
let's deal with that.
So
I'm-
if I done
Okay.
a community centre,
No,
and I said,
hold on. You
wait,
attacked
let me
me,
finish.
right?
No, I just said. So I said it's about unity, isn't it? I said the reason why we can't build this community. The reason
She
why I
got
feel
you,
that
man.
we
She
can't.
got you.
No.
The reason why I
Let's
feel
get
that we
to it.
can't build
Okay,
an
there's
Islamic
people like me, go on.
community, no, there's people like you.
Okay, go on.
I said is because of our divisions, yeah?
Okay.
So let's say we built a nice community centre for all the Muslims to come together with our children, the men together, the sisters together.
And put our
the
differences
children.
apart.
Yeah. Would we be able to do it? And you said, yeah, we would. And I said, but come on, you yourself call the Sunnis monkey savage beasts,
no.
yeah? So if I came...
but that's
if I
not
came
true.
with
He
a
needs to
centre-
correct you. He needs to
Hold on,
correct you.
hold on. Say, hold on, no.
That's not true.
Hold on.
That's not true.
like him.
No. Wallahi, I'm not. This is not for the
That's not true.
I'm saying, so imagine
I
we're
need
all
to respond.
together, we're all together,
I need
and
to
say I brought my
respond.
husband, I said, brother, this is the akh.
I need to respond.
And he's coordinating the brothers. What are you going to say to him? Salam alaikum.
All right,
You say to
this
him,
is what I'm
monkey,
saying.
savage.
Stop. I need to defend you. No.
I want to defend you.
Listen,
He
this is pro bono.
does not say
I
that to
wouldn't do
every
that.
other
Thank
different
you.
sex. He only said that to the ones who are stupid to
to
say.
call me
Basically,
kafir, the
ones
ones
who
that
are-
come to me,
yeah, extremists.
surround me
Yeah.
while I'm talking, saying
We're gonna go back to
she is a kafir,
not everybody,
she
not
should be
everybody,
killed, and all these different things that they say.
So why don't you just say those people?
But we're
You know what I'm
talking about
saying?
marriage, we're going off.
I've
No,
got
because he's saying we need to build a
We're talking
community.
about marriage.
trying
And I
to
said,
make a community
I said
here.
he's right. The problem is because we don't get on with each other. We there in order for us to have a community, we can have
wait, let me just respond to
our
this.
community centre,
Let me
Sufi
just respond
community
to
centre.
this.
We need to have one
No.
community centre.
Just
So our
like-
children can grow up
but your
together.
community-
But how can we
stop,
do
stop.
it?
I need to-
If I
no, I
can't,
need to
I
explain
can't.
this.
Yeah,
Because
if
I've
I-
been
if
brought
I
into
want-
this.
Yeah, if I want to do a community centre and I want to
No,
build,
No, it's not. I just want to explain
I don't
this.
want to have an argument.
No, it's not an argument. I just want to explain it and leave it.
Would you be able
I'm just
to do
explaining
that?
it and leaving it. Right? What I'm saying to you is simply this. The same way how the brother.
I didn't want to bring up an argument. I'm just
No,
saying,
it's not an
would you be able to put your differences aside and have a community
that's the
centre
thing,
together?
if you can't-
Oh, brother, wait, man. I need to explain this because she said it in this on camera, right? So I'm saying,
Now we're shocked.
just like the brother came in, he didn't understand the background, and therefore he said what he said. I'm saying what the sister's saying that I say about Sunnis. I'm saying that was my 4 classification: Sunni, savage, monkey, beast, right? So I'm saying you have general Sunnis who are my brothers and sisters in Islam. You have the savages,
Me as well.
Brothers and
Stop,
sisters
man.
in Islam.
What about
You
me?
have,
What about
let
me?
me talk, man. Shut up. See, savage, right? Interrupted. Yeah, you're a Sunni savage. Because you're bloody sorry, you interrupted me. Shush,
We can move
man.
on.
So I'm saying to you, those people who are Sunni and haven't studied but think they're correct and can go and make takfir on people, they're the Sunni savages. The Sunni savage monkeys are the type that have the first 2 and they take the deen as a joke. They come in, they pretend they want to debate, make takfir, and just roll off. And the beast part is their pigs. They want to do all the 3 before, let me finish, and they want to try and enforce it, and they want to try and attack people.
Violent
Let
people,
me
violent
finish,
people.
bruv.
You know what? He's right. You
I
have
gave
that-
you the 4.
You have that in
this guy-
everything. You have that in so
You're
many
not
things.
listening.
They're
I'm
violent
talking
people who
about
are
my
trying to harm
experience.
others.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm in heck, bro.
how do you think we can move
So I'm
forward
saying,
in building a
I'm
community?
saying,
How?
the way we're going to do it
Yeah, okay.
is to come back to verses like where Allah says, "Say, I am on clear proof from my Lord." Now, Allah is not going to give us something that we have to all hold on to and follow unless He's given to us a process. Very simple. Man, shut up, you clown.
One second.
You
Before you carry on,
imaginary
one
idiot.
second. Before you carry on, one
Why do you
second.
rise
What
to
you,
him? You can
what
all
you
win.
said,
Another guy like that.
it doesn't matter what religion or value of belief.
It's the same with you
It's
guys.
same
I'm
in
saying
Christianity,
it's
Judaism,
made
Buddhism,
and
everything.
from
In
Shia.
every
Oh,
group of
shush, I can talk for myself. Don't
in
interrupt
any
me.
group
Why
of human
said
beings
this?
in a community, you will find
We try to build a community here. We try to build a community.
I said, is he able to do that?
No, I understand. Let's get back to what you say now. I'm saying when you put let's say a program together, right? And it don't matter if you're Sunni, Sufi, it don't make no difference. For instance, if we were literally going to build a community centre from the ground, would it make any difference if you're Sunni or if you're Shia or whatever
No,
else?
it also shouldn't.
You
No,
need someone that
it
can get the
shouldn't.
bricks.
It
You need
shouldn't.
someone that's a plumber.
Yeah, but with the men, are they
value.
able?
And because we are
the men-
minority in this
are the
world,
men
we need to
able
defend
leave?
ourselves.
Are the men able to leave that?
Do you know the majority? People say you hear me say this Sunni thing. Do you know how many Sunnis come up to me and say, "Aki, I hear what you're saying, blah blah blah." They listen to me all the time. Enough Sunnis say that.
Say what?
Do you know- They come up to me.
Monkey beast.
No, because they know I'm not talking about them. They're my brothers.
I think you should
I think, you know, I think the
So what should I
the
say? If someone
issue-
come up to you and
Yeah,
said, "You're a
what about
kafir,
me?
you're a kafir, you're this," what would you say to them?
Then you, if you know you're not, then walk away and keep it separate.
Yeah,
So I got to
You
keep
don't need
moving
to
around.
call
So
someone a
if
pig.
somebody comes to,
something interesting. Are the men
I shouldn't call someone a pig if they want to fight me.
Allah
That's your
has
patient.
given a
Keep it
seed.
stepping.
Allah has
So I got to
ordained-
keep moving around the
No,
park.
you say shut up to that person. Don't say that.
Listen what I'm
to
saying
that
to you.
person.
No, I
If you
think-
have a group of people, I've got a video where they're following me around the park and I was videoing them.
I think
Right?
the biggest issue.
What
Can
did
I just
Shams
say?
say? What did
You
Shams
want to
say?
ask
second.
something? You want to ask
He's a
something?
When
kafir.
you said
There
are
we
men
go.
capable,
Yeah, he said
Allah
Shams is
has
a kafir.
the
given
war
that
in
wisdom
Yemen is halal.
within a
Get
man.
out of
You
here,
have to
bro.
agree that.
Bombing innocent
The
children is Yemen.
capability is innate
Are
in
you
a
saying
man to
that?
do that. There's
This
certain
guy.
functions Allah has given
Brother,
a
stop
man
it.
and a
We
woman.
never said
What,
that.
bombing
That is
innocent
divinely
children in Yemen is halal?
Okay.
Like you are.
Yeah. But what's your
Yeah.
point? Yeah.
So then the
You're
question
saying
should be:
I'm not Allah.
Are
Why-
man,
Why do I have to
guys,
be Allah?
is the man in line with his divine nature? Is he going to be doing that or is he not?
ruined
Yeah,
it.
but
You ruined
That's
it.
the
Yeah, I was
same.
generalising, but I was speaking to him
ruined it.
directly
good, man.
because he seems
She
to
asked-
want,
she brought it up,
he
not me.
seems to
Anyway.
want to build like a community and he wants
I
to.
was
he
putting
wants
it
to
out
know.
there,
Yeah.
suggestion.
The
All
thinking
the
was
time.
about marriage.
No, I'm not.
So the marriage was like, for
No,
example,
because we were talking before about the reason why we felt that the breakdown of the marriages and so on, because the community went.
I'm saying the
But
community.
what she's actually
What
said
I'm
is
saying is-
perfectly true.
You're
At
right
the
in
end
what
of the
you're
day,
saying. I'm not
at
disagreeing.
the end of the day, we can't try and make solutions for something if we can't actually work among ourselves as Muslims. Instead of compartmentalizing Islam and saying, wait a second, and saying that I'm this, I'm labeled this, I'm labeled that. Why are we not just Muslims?
Right, hold on. That's never gonna happen. So the
then-
reality,
No, as a
wait.
community
So I'm
centre.
saying to you, hold on.
that's
So
a-
what I'm saying is,
that's an
the ones
ideal.
who do have that mentality of positivity, shush. How she brought it up, so shut up,
It's
man.
not about Shia
The sister
and
here
Sunni,
brought it
it's
up,
not
so be
about that.
quiet.
It's about
Calm
being
down,
Muslim.
calm
All right, so we're trying to
in
have a
general.
conversation.
That's
What
all
I'm
it's
saying
about.
is that you're never going to have this Muslim unity thing and everyone agrees. What I'm
we're
saying is,
talking about community
I feel
centre.
the
What we can do,
I'm saying once you get sufficient amount of people that are on it,
Yeah.
you get on with it.
That's why you
friendly
don't say
people.
you can never have
Peaceful
it.
That's
people.
why I asked
You just said
No,
you
never.
would
I'm
never
saying
have
you
it.
you never have
general,
all
all
Muslims
Muslims
agreeing
want. No,
on
we
one
don't need that.
We
ideology.
don't need
Muslims.
them.
We don't need
Exactly.
them.
We don't need
Exactly.
them.
That's what I just
We
said.
need like-minded
Yeah.
to
The
make
reason
some
why-
community.
yeah.
That's what
You
she's
get
saying.
sufficient
Why I'm
amount of
asking, why I
people.
asked you is because I feel like maybe
Oh, I might be-
you're a person that maybe will act in accordance with what he's saying. Because we
Okay.
had a lot of people just talk. Oh, we need to do. So I'm thinking, so we are trying to build like a community, and we are trying from here to so maybe
We're not
build a
just idle
community
to it.
centre.
So what I'm saying-
So
Something
we're
to
trying.
happen.
That's not what
So
I'm
I'm
saying
asking
from-
you:
Go
are
on,
you able to come to like a meeting or be involved in something that will build a community and leave your aqidah at the door?
Bring Sunnah and Shia scholars who are peaceful
You know
and
what?
friendly
It's really
enough
bad. My
to
daughter,
work it
her
out
best friend
something.
is a Shia girl, yeah? She's full Shia, but they're best friends. Why? They don't discuss it.
It's not an issue.
I mean, they do their thing.
I just gave
Do
an
your thing,
example
I'll
of
do my
building
thing.
a literal centre.
But with this
And I'm
brother-
saying
Yeah.
an electrician doesn't have to be Sunni or Shia or whatever. It doesn't make no difference what
Yeah,
he
that's
is.
fine.
So I'm saying is once you've got a specific purpose and goal for what you want to achieve, yes,
We hear
you
that.
put that and design it down
Yeah, we hear
and
that.
then roll with it. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we hear
You
that.
understand?
Yeah, well, but I think
But
we're
hold-
all agreeing. She just
Right.
asked you a question.
Yes. Would I be
because-
willing? 100%.
Yeah, because obviously your opinions that you've given before, would you be willing to work with a Sunni Muslim? That's why you
But
asked.
But yes,
Wow,
the
but
first-
but hold on.
That's all it
So
was.
if I'm in a
That's all it
meeting,
was.
hold on.
That's
If
what
I'm in a
it is.
meeting and I suggest something, and then one of these people come
No,
along.
but we're not in a meet. This is the thing. We're not in a group of people that have those opinions
Yeah.
based on what your Islam
this
is.
way, no
This is the
problem.
thing. Exactly. It wouldn't
No
be a
problem.
problem.
If that's the
because
case-
with people like that.
Exactly.
Exactly. Then of course.
So then
I-
we're
But I'm
good.
saying to you,
I'm about building, not breaking. Well, your aqidah, leave it at the door.
Yeah, but
We're
you
here about-
now defined a group. You now
I
defined.
know. I don't.
we've had this
He defined
conversation
four
for probably an
different
hour and a half.
people.
So now,
An hour and a half
this is the problem.
before the
What
devil,
I'm saying,
Shaitan
what she
come
said,
in.
That's an ideal. Everyone wants to aspire to that.
Why
So
Shaitan?
when we're
If I
talking
say,
about
have you
marriage
seen
now, because
your-
that was the
your
original
video?
thing.
Because
Yeah,
we're trying to have a
it's right.
cohesive,
So now when you're
beneficial
looking for
conversation.
someone for
And the
marriage,
devil like you
then
want to
you
come
have
in
to
and
look
try
for
and
common-
mash
No,
it
no,
up.
that's
Common
not, no,
values
no,
and
that's not
beliefs.
that. That's
I just
not
told
what
you.
I'm obviously, no, no, no,
Because
no,
half the conversation was a marriage breakdown.
No, it's not building the community.
you're a
Because
devil
what
too,
it
that's
is, a lot of the times, brothers have got nowhere to go, sisters have got nowhere to go, and the kids have got nowhere to
You
go.
blow people
There
out
are
of terrorists.
communities.
Yeah, but there's sub-communities, and we're funding that's going and stuff. Plus, we don't want to have pockets. Moroccan community, Indian community, then
But
there's the reverse out. We want to have one.
But even what's wrong with this? Is what I'm saying. What's wrong if each people have their community,
understand.
so long as they respect other communities?
No,
The only
because-
problem has ever
Everyone's
been
got different
is when they're biased against the
Yeah,
others.
but I think it's good that we have one.
No,
one
no. But this is what I'm saying.
But in Islam,
Hold
you
on.
have one.
You can have several different communities. This is what I'm
Opinion
saying.
and their beliefs. No
Yeah.
problem.
But I'm saying that will empower each
Okay, but where
one.
does that leave, for example, the reverse?
We have our own too.
Not really.
We can do.
Sunnis go to Shia.
Not really.
Still, yeah.
Where does that?
understand
You know what?
that.
That is a very valid question. Where does that
I
leave
missed
together?
it.
Yeah. Do
Conversation,
you
I
understand me?
understand.
Like, even with my
We're
own
supporting the
community,
idea
what
of
we had a very strong
different communities
but as of late,
based
it's
upon
died.
cultural, race, or whatever
Yeah,
else
it's died out.
may come together.
Funding is
Existing
dried up.
communities should take in the river.
Yeah, but even their communities are shriveling.
No, but their communities are going to expect the converts to morph
And don't
themselves
forget the
into
enemies of Islam, they're working against us as
no
well.
longer interested in building. Like when my children were young, our community was thriving.
He said that's because of the modern world.
No, I think it's a lot of things. I
said
think it's a lot
Modern,
of
we're
things.
living in a modern world.
Yeah, I
What
think
did I
it's a lot
say?
of things.
The community is breaking down.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Bless you. Take care. Salama.
I think it's a lot of things.
What I'm
The
saying
breakdown of communities.
is that the whole point is, like, for instance, the issue has
I
been
don't-
communities hating each other based upon nation and race and so on. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with a Moroccan community or this community or that community, so long as they recognise each other are Muslim or good people, and they build from there.
But even
The
those
issue is
communities,
not
I'm
as
saying to you,
simple-
those communities have died now.
But the
Because
issue,
children
you know,
have
the
grown
issue is not
older,
as simple as
and
that.
there isn't
because-
much
Okay, so
left.
what? These lot have grown older now. What are they?
We still can start again. It's
Oh, no,
not
wait,
at the
let
end
the
of the
sister
world.
answer. No, no.
That's what I'm saying. We need a revival.
Be optimistic, be hopeful.
Brother,
That's what
no, but I'm
we
saying,
need to revive it.
what are they then?
Everyone uses negative language to say, oh, we can't be done, or it shouldn't be done, all this kind of
Okay,
stuff.
so
Like, just
Once
do
we
it.
become
Like,
successful, the rest will join.
But you know, to understand, like,
Exactly
where
my
did
point.
this
You
modern
find
world
who's
come
going to
from?
do it, get on with it, and the others will be like, oh, good, it's working. Let's jump.
Exactly.
That's
The only way that's
I
gonna
mean, we've come away from our topic like completely with this.
Which is what?
But
It's still on marriage,
Yeah.
because marriage, as I said, is community, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying we're coming to the basis of the problem.
Agent of
I suggest. Do you see what I mean? That's the kind of devil I'm talking about.
Hello?
We're having a conversation, and look, the devil here,
Oh,
ga.
you can say anything. You can
I'm not
say
even talking to you.
Sunni Shia beast or whatever you call. If I say something, how dare you?
Because we're having a civil conversation,
You know what? I
and
think,
you're the savage.
like, I think if you're gonna,
cannot just
I feel
brush-
like if anyone's joining like
Brush
the
under the
sisters,
carpet
circle-
what it stands for.
But you keep interrupting
Brothers,
and
take
trying
your
to...
testosterone.
What do you mean test? Excuse me, see what I mean? Listen what I'm saying now. We're having a conversation. I didn't say Sunni nothing. Sunni savage, none of that. The sister brought it up, and he's been here attacking me, and she says brothers. Do you understand my point? Instead of telling him,
into his hands, he's praying into your hands. Let's
I'm not. Who in Islam, whoever starts it, you deal with them, correct? You don't say
keep
both of
calling
you.
him a devil. But
Because he
but
keeps
just-
interrupting.
I know, just stop.
You see
Just
what I'm
stop.
saying to you? All right, no, go ahead.
Let's talk about marriage.
Go ahead. No, because I'm saying one of the things is if they're not going to establish justice, you're not going to build anything.
Of course.
Once you've got this thing, well, you shouldn't respond. No, you should tell him, be quiet. Don't say it. Don't tell me about defending myself. I'm supposed to defend myself.
Marry a Shia
Simple
guy.
as that.
But what I was going to say,
Thank you. Tell him that.
Sister, coming back to marriage.
There we go, sister.
Is that what you're jealous about?
Right.
Is this what he's jealous about?
Sam, listen. I know. I come from Iraq. We have Shias married from Sunnis and
Yeah,
Sunnis
but
married from
he's not
Shia
asking me to
and
marry.
all
That's
that
what
kind
I'm
of
saying,
stuff.
this guy's
So
like
don't say it doesn't work.
so
It's a
primitive
proof.
and
You can
insecure.
now see it. Some people, if they don't mind and they see they are all Muslims, they can marry. Why not?
All these good with the liberal values.
Not terrible. It's a fact, man. It's a fact.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm saying to you, we're having a
I tell
civilized
you,
conversation.
because you don't have
and
this
look,
in your community. Go back to Iraq, and see that we have this community, no problem whatsoever.
Let's get back to the team.
See,
Let's
your
try
community
it.
maybe is extreme, but the rest, not all of them like that.
The sisters had some concerns.
I don't know, I feel we come off it and it's cold and I'm tired and I'm just like,
Well, anyway, we agree on the two things.
yeah.
That we have to look at character as being the main thing. We can look at physical looks and whatever else, but if it's
But I
not
feel
character...
it's men need to do that. This is the thing, men need to do that. I don't think it's an issue with women.
Sister said
I don't
height,
think it's a women.
she said strength,
Yes, no, this
she
is
said
the thing. But
all kind of-
but
these
the
are young
reality
girls.
is-
They're young.
No, she said what they want, so
The
therefore...
reality
No,
is,
that's-
I think
you
when
can
that
take that both
comes
ways.
to
You
them,
can't just
they
say
are more than
it's
willing
just
to
men.
kind of leave it and
I
negotiate.
said,
It's men and
Exactly.
the
men
women, they have a bigger challenge.
She said-
I don't think they're as open.
the raw emotions of what somebody wants at the beginning, and men go for beauty, women go for power. That's like the.
Wow, do you hear that?
That's like
Power in what sense?
basis.
I
What do you
don't
mean
know.
power?
I feel
Power
like-
as in, it's gonna provide for you, protect you. That's what I mean. I don't mean
Yeah.
he's gonna
Okay,
prime minister
okay.
or he's some
Power,
That's what I
okay.
mean. Yeah.
Safety, security.
Yeah, safety, security, provision. Yeah, you want a woman wants a husband's gonna protect her. It's gonna provide for her. Yeah. A man wants a woman he's attracted to, that's nurturing, that's gonna have his children.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
So this
yeah.
was just the basics. I don't mean
Yeah,
every
yeah,
woman
yeah.
is
Okay,
looking for
I
a
hear
rich
that, I
guy and he's gonna.
But there's reasons why you don't go
Ferrari,
for
it's not
certain
mean that.
type of people. So, for a reason, a woman maybe would not go with a fat man, or a man might not want a fat woman.
Right.
Not based just really on the physical aspects. It's more a case of
Their
if somebody's
lifestyle.
fat, why
Then
are
their
they
lifestyle.
fat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it emotional? Like if I see a fat man,
I
like
think
I'm a
100
bigger
things
woman.
out of it.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Well, I'm a bigger woman myself. I could lose some weight. I know I can, and I should. But that's different. So I don't get upset if a man wasn't to be attracted to me because I'm fat. But I now have my own thoughts on fat men. Not just because. No, the thing is, I could have a husband and he could get fat and it's cool. I'm not going to divorce him because he's fat.
Oh,
but
you're
what
saying
I'm,
you
but what I'm
changed.
saying to,
Okay, go on,
to
go on.
find a man,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going to be attracted to a fat man because in my head that tells me a few things about that man.
But what about
Does
the
that make
fact?
sense?
What about the fact that a man can get chubby, for instance, because he's working and he's eating garbage food? So therefore, if he got married, and the sister cooked him the good food,
Yeah.
it would balance off his life. You
But
get
this
me?
is not the sole thing. I'm not.
I hear what you're saying. You're throwing
I don't
something on the
go,
table. I
oh,
totally
he's
hear.
fat. No, I'm looking at all the other things.
But this is
and
my
fat
point,
is
where
being
if
part
you were
of
to
it.
have a conversation, and you were being honest and say, you know what, some of the issues I've got, I really like your personality, your face,
But you're chubby.
right? And he said, you know what, sis, I agree with you. I ain't got time to work out. I have to come home and cook my food, and then I just drop sleep.
Listen, this is my situation. If a guy told me that listen, that's what I'm saying. So if I'm talking to a man for marriage, and he says, oh, I think you're a little bit overweight, I'm not going to get offended
You're
or
not talking
upset
to
by
black
it. Sorry?
You're not talking to
no.
black men.
I'm just, what I'm saying is because obviously
Yeah, man, come on.
I'm saying black men didn't complain about that.
I might be. He might be attracted to a more healthier woman.
Serious? Yeah?
You know.
Alright. I have to finish him off from last week.
So
Alright,
majority of Muslim women, they have
Shukran.
a strong
Beautiful
challenge
conversation.
for them
Shukran.
because they
Inshallah,
are
we can,
competing
repeat
with the rest of the women.
No.
here.
Alhamdulillah.
They
No.
give it
Any
easy,
questions? I don't want you to
and
keep
they
it in your
have
head.
more
Put it to
beauty
me.
and they show
Yeah?
their beauty. But what the true Muslim women they have that other women don't have is respect, generosity. Like she's willing to give so much.
But then again, in turn, a man should be able to sacrifice the same.
Of course.
And be able to give so much. Because what men do is, like, at the beginning, when they're meeting someone, when they're talking to someone before marriage, they show the best characteristics, like most of us,
Yeah.
women and men. We're both guilty.
Of course,
that.
of course.
However, what is a big concern is when people do get married, you're looking at someone like, subhanallah, who are you? Because I don't know you. Because you're now showing the person that you really are. Like,
Okay.
it's a hidden.
That's what we spoke earlier about. If we go back to the best human being on the planet, Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, and we go by his rulings, what he said about how to choose a husband and how to choose a wife. If we go by this, and if you go by this and you go wrong, there's nobody else on the planet can help you. Yeah. So that's the best. No humanity, no scientist, nobody can give you better choice about the Prophet Muhammad.
Everyone agrees
We
on
agree
that.
with that. But here, for majority,
Everyone agrees on that. I think what it is, you know when you say the man and when I say the woman, you've automatically said, when I say the women, I've said, okay, we're men and now it's the women, the fault's there. When you say the man, then it's the man, and then, so in that frame of mindset, you're not going to solve anything. Unless if you see it, it's man and woman. So men,
Yeah, but
both.
that's why I said they're both guilty.
Yeah.
Both, like if you're meeting someone, you want to show the best characteristics of yourself, right? You want to, at the beginning, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, these are all my bad habits, things like that. But within marriage, obviously, you're meant to find out who the person is.
So now this is a very, very good question. You're supposed to find out who that
the
person
person
is.
is.
Now,
But not
traditionally, but in Islam, within communities, we had a method for safety. Now, we agree that now that method is, those layers have been stripped
Hence
down.
why you ask the
So now
questions
it's-
and the women
now
have
we-
the
now-
list of questions.
So the
But you
women
need
don't
the
have
list.
these barriers.
Exactly.
You need the list.
You need the
because
list of
if you
questions,
don't
and they
have-
might be silly to some
But I'm
men,
saying
and they
to-
might be
yeah.
like, "Oh, that's a bit dramatic."
But
like
I'm saying
you
to
come
you
in
that
and said,
even within this modern world, there are communities in London over here that still have this system. Like I come from one of those systems.
Okay.
But
then
there's
if
other
I-
women
But
that
then
the
that
other
only
women that don't have this
But
system,
then
like
that
you
only
said.
benefits your community.
Yes.
So for the
I agree with
reverts,
you.
for example,
So for the
that's gonna be a
sisters,
problem.
for the sisters
How
who
do
don't
they
have
get
that
married?
layer, that buffer layer of XYZ, then they have to do everything themselves. So you have to ask these questions. So now I understand why such questions need to be asked.
Yeah, and they're really, some of the questions are ridiculous. But even the question being ridiculous and how he reacts to that question will help me understand that man and what he's like. Do you see
And
what I
if you
mean?
don't answer, if you don't ask those questions, when you do get married, these are the little things that will accumulate and become
Exactly,
like big
100%.
arguments.
Even
And-
when it comes down to,
You make a
obviously
bigger
we're supposed to have like,
Come back a bit, brother.
we're
You're
supposed
on the
to,
G circle, innit?
we're supposed to have like a level
That's
of
the function of mosque. This is primarily the function of the mosque.
yeah.
But the mosque have.
But what I was
I
saying
don't feel like
earlier,
they work
with
in that way,
with the
though.
mosque, it's like I said, it's the unrealistic expectations, yeah? So like I said, there are hundreds of brothers on the mosque list, hundreds of sisters in the list, yeah? But there are unrealistic expectations, so this is why no one's getting married. Because like
And
I
who's
said,
actually
no one
putting those
stays in their
people
lane.
together?
Do you understand me?
Yeah,
And wallahi, I'm going to keep on reiterating it, that if people stayed in their lane and they were realistic with what they want in a spouse, people will be getting married. Whether it's financial, whether the sister's been married before, whether she's got kids, or whether how old the brother is. Like I said, you get this portion of ages. Brother in his 40s wants to marry a 19-year-old. Do you understand me? The 19-year-old, she's at home. Her mum and dad ain't going to give it to the man in his 40s. So he's just going to stay there because he's stuck in his ways. And they're going to say the same thing with the sister. Sister, she's 28, she's 29, she's got a degree, she's doing her master's. She wants this lawyer brother who's got his house, he owns it. That lawyer brother who's got his house, he owns it. He's not going to marry a 29-year-old. No, he wants a 24-year-old. Do you understand? So my issue is realistic expectations. If we were realistic, more people will be getting married. And
Thank you for
this
saying
is-
that.
do you know
Thank you
what I
for
mean?
saying that. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
That's the
Realistic is
biggest
very
problem.
subjective.
You said that-
No,
you
because
said
I've been involved in this for years. Years and years and years. I've been trying to get people to get married. Do you know what I'm saying?
When it comes to
inshallah.
this is the thing, this is the issue as well. When it comes to you telling
But
the
I do know
imam,
one thing in Islam: a woman
Are
has
you
a right to a
gonna-
Should just
husband.
let her
Sorry.
finish.
I know, like-
One second. A woman has a right to a husband.
Absolutely. And a brother has a right for a wife.
A woman, Allah has given the right of a woman as a right to marry a husband. So a woman can say, I need a husband. And if she doesn't get a husband, then collectively in Islam,
Absolutely.
the whole community of men are single.
Absolutely.
So that right Allah has given
And
to
how
a
many
woman.
sisters are single?
Men don't have that right.
Yeah.
Men don't have the right.
If you go to-
The imam can say to me, you have to marry this. You have to marry her. I don't want because men are protectors over women. So that right, the men are falling.
But this is
That's
what
not
I'm
being
saying, there's a
implemented.
downfall of the
But
community,
it's
isn't
not
it?
being implemented. First of all, it might be what it's saying, what's written, but Muslims like to cherry pick. So you know, when it comes to going to the masjid, the mosque, and saying, "Oh, Imam, I'm looking for someone to marry," there's a big list of women, there's a big list of men, but who is sitting there going, "Okay, this is perfect for this person, this one's perfect." There's probably loads of people that are compatible within, like the archive that the mosque has got of these women and men, but nobody's there putting them together. Matrimonial websites, matrimonial events, and all this kind of stuff. That's what's needed, and I think that will make the change.
I see the dating sites and
There
that.
are. There's
Yeah,
pure,
that-
there
they-
is.
see
There's
them
pure
pop up in my
matrimony.
thing.
There's
But this is the thing. People are going on it and
That
using
pure
it.
matrimony,
This is
the demand from sisters. Flipping hell.
The biggest pressure
And I
the
deleted
biggest
it.
pressure is on Muslim women. They need to stand out from the rest of the women. So, and a Muslim man, when he looks at a Muslim woman, he says, I cannot afford not to have a Muslim woman. That's the point. That's the whole really point, is for the Muslim women to stand apart from the rest. Otherwise, they will have no chance, actually.
Well, you think because the Muslim women's too like high maintenance? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all.
The women have a right to have high maintenance.
They need to be like the best possible in the community, and like educated, make their own money, like be great as possible. So when a Muslim man sees that, he says, I cannot afford, I cannot have better women than that. So they need to stand out because you have a bigger challenge than the men. That's what the Muslim women need. Otherwise, it will be much harder and much longer. Otherwise, you have to go from another country and get your
No,
husband.
but the reality is there's so many Muslim men who are marrying sisters with degrees and masters, etc., and they're out here acting bummy. Because
Exactly. They ain't got nothing.
Because they can, and Muslim sisters accept it because the reality is, who else is going to come? Oh, maybe this is my best opportunity. SubhanAllah, we're not holding men accountable for what they really should be achieving.
all of this is a plus for the women, but for the men.
How is it a plus for women that I
listen,
marry someone who's bummy?
No, not that bad. It doesn't have to be like that. The woman, when she marries the husband, when she marries the husband, not to look exactly out. What I have, he must have. You know, it doesn't have to be like
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Because
No,
I
it doesn't
personally,
have to
I
be
can
like that,
speak
but it's also
personally.
not-
My cousins,
You-
yes,
I've got-
they are doctors and they married to men who are not.
Yeah, but can I say something? You know, what I find this a lot, subhanAllah, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, is that the onus is always on the woman to have sabr or to marry down. Yeah, I have not yet seen one brother.
No, the onus is
hold
on the
on,
man.
I've never seen one brother that married an ugly sister.
In this
Yeah.
country
She's
here,
very
maybe, yes.
ugly.
Because
Ugly.
why?
Hold on.
Because
She's a good sister.
they have a lot
Can I
more
finish?
options. That's
Yeah,
why.
Yeah, but hold on. But a doctor, a sister, mashallah, who's studied very long. to be a doctor. Because my
course,
daughter's
obviously.
a medical student, and it's very, very hard to even get into medicine. Yeah? So for her now to be a doctor, and then a man turn around and say, "Do you know what, it's okay, marry somebody from Carphone Whitehouse," that's not a problem. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, but the thing is, a woman's expected to do that. But you never hardly ever get a man they say to him, "Do you know what, marry the sister."
Look deeper into the person.
She's very ugly, but she's intelligent. She's nice. She might be like extremely overweight or extremely short, or maybe she's got something wrong with her leg. Alhamdulillah, marry her. So what I'm saying is, if we're gonna give out that narrative of having patience and marrying for deen and whatever, it should be for the man and the woman, not just the woman.
It should be. As a fact, that's idealistic.
It's not the case.
It's a should. It should is different because it doesn't work like that. Because the Muslim women have less chance and less options in the community, but the Muslim men have more options.
We have less chance and less community because the narrative of less chance and less opportunity is always being pushed forth by men.
Exactly, and that's why we said earlier, the point of women, like husbands and the daughters and the wives, should teach in a best possible way their men to change their mind.
Do you know why I think this happens?
Lack of listening. You get me? You should listen to them a bit better.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know why I find
when you're talking to respond, people can hear it from the outside. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if there's a lot of guys with that mentality, they're going to push their narrative.
That's
exactly.
But once you hear from
in a
women,
world
you
of
get
so
balance.
much
It does feel
it's desire, isn't it? The world of desire.
I think what happens also
naturally
is that how I think a lot of women, women do keep women down. I'll tell you why. If you find a brother, he's got a friend, or a man, he has a friend, he's in a wheelchair, disabled, he's in a wheelchair, he's paralysed from the waist down.
Yeah.
He will go to his friends and he will say, "Do you know, we need to find the brother a wife." Yeah?
Yeah.
And then the brother, he'll tell his wife and he'll be like, "I want my friend to get married. He's in a wheelchair." The wife's going to be like, "SubhanAllah, it's going to be a little bit hard." He'll be like, "Astaghfirullah, taqillah, he's a good brother, he's an intelligent brother."
It's perfect already.
Okay? So, and then you'll find they get married. I know like all the brothers from Ladbroke Grove, 3 of them are in wheelchairs, they're all married. And they've got children. Okay. But then you go to a sister now, and you say there's a divorced sister, she's been divorced maybe once, she's got 3 young children, let's try and find her a wife. The sisters will be like, "No, it's going to be almost impossible."
Yeah.
The women find out.
Not me, don't.
Find her a husband, not her. Yeah, the sisters will be like, "Oh, do you know what? It's going to be difficult because she's got 3 children. Who's going to marry her?" So look at the difference.
Step up.
Yeah, that's a very important point. Yeah, exactly.
Not someone should step up. It's compulsory for a man.
Yeah, of course. The divorce.
Yeah, you should know your self-worth. We all go back in the same thing.
I do.
Yeah,
But then
it's
you
all
have
about
to
teaching
make
Men
them.
are protectors of women, so by that right, the man has to step up.
Knowing
and
your
marry.
self-worth is actually like knowing what you can give to somebody else, yeah, and what you. So that's when your point comes with staying in the lane. It's like, to be fair, if I'm a doctor, I wouldn't really want to go for somebody that is working in Sainsbury's. Not that I think that's less.
It doesn't have to be Sainsbury's. It doesn't have to be a professor. Have a middle ground. Be reasonable.
But there's nothing wrong with
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Because to me, that's just a job that he does. Like, and I could be a doctor but not get a job. I could have a degree and never get a job. Or I get pregnant, I have to look after. So what is a degree? The thing is, it's not about my status when it comes to jobs. It's about the character of the person. Yeah.
Definitely.
But people aren't looking deeper into the person to find that character. So it is a case of women aren't getting married out here because men don't want these good women. They want the women that look like this and this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah, but in all fairness, that's not all men.
Majority.
Do you care what the man's doing for a living?
You know what?
Majority women do.
And I can argue the case.
A dustbin man, for example.
I would marry a dustbin man.
I can argue the case.
If he
that women
could
also do the
provide
same
for
thing.
me and my family, and I do the same because I would like to be in a marriage that is equal, that I see equal in that sense that I'm bringing stuff to the table as well, then yeah, it's a dustbin man. But you know what? I would build. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I would want better from my husband to be a dustbin man. For real. I don't think that's the level my husband should be at. I feel like if you're a grown man with kids, you don't need to be a dustbin man. I see dustbin man as a job that might bring money in, but it's a lower level of job, and I will help him to build him up so that he can get a bigger bigger leg or we get more money and whatever and live a better life. That's what you're supposed to do in a
I
marriage.
think it's about ambition as well. Like you can find somebody who's working in Sainsbury's, but he's part-time.
There's nothing.
That's my point. Like, I think you said Sainsbury's, but what about like a Dustin or like high-end business?
Even
Like,
in
You can't say one
Sainsbury's,
or the other.
part-time university.
Because women also look for
Majority of
You can't say majority because women look for material. You can find ample examples of sisters that are looking for materialistic things.
One second, I want to hear this, but I want to answer that. I do.
Does he have a goal? If he has a goal that he wants to go back to school and he wants to
Exactly that.
But saying that,
if he says, you know, I
a
want to
woman
work,
has a right to
for
materialistic
the rest
because
of my life,
women
then
look
that's
at
the thing for you.
I think there's a difference between materialism and someone who's on par to you.
I agree.
It's very,
100%
very
agree.
reasonable for
Yeah.
a sister who's adopted to say, I don't want someone in Sainsbury's. Not because she looks down upon them, but because she wants someone who is on perhaps maybe intellectual on par to her. And that's not...
He could have a degree in
when sisters want that is, oh, you look down on him, or oh, you're not going to be a good wife because you don't want to help your husband. That's not fair. She just wants someone who's on par to her, and I don't think there's anything wrong.
I don't think there's a problem.
Naturally, I see
That's not as well. Because looking down upon someone who you think you're better.
They go together. Do you understand me? Me and my fault is I
The
don't
issue is
marry
that
somebody who's just
you say
starting
majority of the
life,
brothers,
already
that would
somebody
have a
who's
problem.
already
But you can't say majority of the brothers.
No, but I do think it is majority of brothers because I don't
Because
think,
that's from your experience.
but I don't think as a woman, not a little girl, and this is the thing, I think this
When you
is
say
the issue.
majority of brothers, you have to say from your experience.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll say well, yeah, obviously everything's from my experience.
So from my experience,
so
it
from
could
my
be majority
experience,
of...
it's the majority of brothers that are not looking for women, looking for the inner woman. They're looking for the outer majority. Because and you say, one second, let me finish. So you said, oh, but women do that too. Yeah, women do. No, I'll say some women do. Most girls do. As a woman, knowing that this is a person that I'm going to give myself to, as a virgin or whatever, and this is the first person I'm ever going to be with, do you not think that I would look for the inner person rather than the outer exterior of what he can give me?
With you.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think men do because men don't have that same stick. They don't have that same
I
hold.
agree with you.
Most men.
Most men.
I
Yeah,
agree with you.
Men don't because there's not a lot to lose.
I agree with you.
For a woman,
But
there's more to lose.
I agree with her, but the only point I disagree.
Yeah, that's what I said. Women. That's what I said.
Age of the man.
I'd
Women.
agree with her, but the
And
only
a-
point I'm
and a
disagreeing
girl.
is when you say majority of men, I'd say
Okay,
majority
guys,
of your
we'll leave it
experience.
to you.
Because I can say majority of my experience of women as they're materialistic.
No, I don't. No, but I don't.
You
No,
understand? It doesn't
yes,
mean
of
all
course.
women. Huh? No, when she said
No,
majority
but I'm
of
not
men,
saying it. But it's
I
not from
agree
my
with her.
experience. I'm talking about women in general. I'm saying women. So a woman and a girl have different ideas of different things. A girl is materialistic more time. There's some mature girls out there, but a woman is past all that aesthetics and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to live a life and try to have like a foundation. And I feel like most men don't care about that.
when you say most men, you have to say it's on your experience.
No, I feel like most men don't care about that.
But that's subjective.
Why do I? Yeah, of course it's subjective. But it's obviously what I see of the world.
Not all men are like that.
Most men. I didn't say
You
all.
can
I said
ask,
most men.
most men are not like that.
I could ask loads. We could even look at it. This is the reason why we're not getting married in the first place. There's a whole conversation why it's come up in the first place. It's because men are not looking for women that have substance. They're looking for the outer woman. And I can say most men, and I can say that confidently.
Say some men.
In
my experience. You know how do you drag that out of me? No, I feel like most men in general.
Your experience.
I think age is playing a role. I think that
I know, but I can say in my
a man
experience,
under
most
30, yeah.
I can say the same
Yeah.
thing most
No.
men.
That's what my Bible. I think men under 30 generally will go for beauty and this kind of thing. I think men over 30,
That's part of growing up.
yeah, especially men 40 plus, they look for different things in a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah?
It's maturity.
Yeah, it's maturity and even experience to know that a woman, there's more to a woman
But then
just
my
beauty.
question is, in this situation, where's the father? Where's the uncle? Where's the granddad? Where's the imam?
This is the thing, but this is the thing. That
this is
comes down
happening.
to the communities and whatever.
So
Like in
you're
a lot of
mentioning-
in a lot of ethnic in a lot of communities. Say for instance, like if you look at a South Asian community, for instance, the dynamics of a South Asian community and a South Asian Muslim is different to other dynamics of Muslims in. So you can say, oh, there's the grandmother, this one there, that one there, but it's not just that they were following Islam. It's a lot of culture in that as well, hence why it's like that. But if I'm being a Muslim and I'm going with my culture, for instance, I live a British culture. So my British culture is to be that my nan lives over there, I'll go visit my nan or whatever. Like, I'm not speaking for all British people, but I'm just saying that the family dynamics aren't the same. Even as a Muslim, I would like them to be different. It's not always the case because of our cultures are different.
But I think also under 30, sorry, people that are under 30 now, even if they've got a strong cultural background, what they're looking for in a spouse is not necessarily what their parents want from them. So you get an Asian boy with a black girl, or a Moroccan boy with a Somalian girl. So all of that now has gone out of the window because they're not looking for their parents to choose their spouse anymore. Yeah, you get, like you said, a young Asian guy will go and marry a divorcee with children, which is kind of a no-no, even in my culture. Yeah? So the dynamics have changed. Even if some communities still have elders, the young people are no longer listening to their elders because they've defined for themselves what they want in a spouse. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So your grandma, your auntie, your mum is not even going to be happy with who you chose. Do you understand me? So like, even with my children, my daughter married a Kosovo. We're Moroccan. Yeah? I didn't have a problem with that. But maybe if I was from another generation, that would have been an issue. Do you understand? Because my parents' generation wasn't wanting them to marry a Moroccan. It was like keep it together. But it was like, for me, it wasn't an issue because as long as he's a good person, it's who she wants to marry. He's married.
My only because at that time, the most people was told the Quran came down as a miracle. What's that? So it's very easy with the view that you have that then you say,
I think no, it's not.
If you keep asking questions, right, Islam does have a right to ask. And when Islam is a religion that says don't ask us questions. I've got a cat with a mahar. No one would dare stand up against him. No man would dare stand up. And the woman said, this is the verse. She always doubt everything. Tell them this, that I doubt. I believe.
When the man said, women want money, yes, this is the right Allah has given them. If you can't step up to your place, the reason why they're always doubting you. Well, the man is always doubting you. The man can't say, I want a woman. I want money because Allah says, spend on them, buy the wealth that He's giving.
Stay in lane. Like, live to your means. Like, bruv, like, if I actual wage, exactly. If I'm a doctor and I'm out here being a doctor and whatever, and my man can't afford the lifestyle that I want to live, then it's not for me. Not me, I'm just saying, but that's what a lot of women will say.
Brothers are abandoning the world.
That doesn't make sense. How can you have a PhD in natural physics, for example? I don't think online.
Yeah, because we've got so much access. So that's the thing. There is so much access to the rest of the world. Why, as well as the fact that obviously it's very difficult. This is the thing. I think the difficulty comes when a woman's trying to find a husband. She doesn't have the community, so there's no one there going, oh, I recommend my brother, my cousin, or whatever. Because in the Asian community, in the South Asian community, like, mashallah, they're really good at being able to provide. Yeah, so for your uncle knows this person, or whatever, your auntie knows that one. It's very good in that sense. When it comes out of the Asian community, for a lot of communities, it's very hard for sisters to get married because there's no one there giving a recommendation or whatever. But then as a sister, if you're trying to do your deen properly, yeah, and you're trying to do everything allowed, how else do we meet men?
My problem is I didn't see that.
You didn't see that, but people saw that. Okay, so if I say to you, Canna came back from Jamaica yesterday, and then he came and said it to me.
It's very difficult.
Is that enough for you to believe that?
And that's why I said online matrimony. I'm asking you, like matrimony.
Is there enough?
Because I've seen people come from one country to another.
Okay, you saw something.
I've seen that myself. I've done it.
They came to you and said, Alan came back from Jamaica yesterday. Now you have believed Alan came back. It's the same thing. It's a reoccurring news. If the people that see Moses and the whole area sees it, and then they say to people, then obviously this happened. Don't you understand?
Can you see what she's saying?
But the thing is, we have things in. So when we look at social media and online meeting, we're now taught the safeties of doing that. Yeah? So the safety would be that I need to see a picture.
It's not good.
I need to see a video of you. I need to meet you in a public place with somebody else. So it's not really dangerous.
He's got that's it. He's got Donald Trump's picture and he's worshiping them. They worship rats.
Okay, so yeah, with the prophets, you say they done stuff with magic. I've never seen that before. Prophet Muhammad left the Quran for us to read. Why can't only a few people read that language? Because I would like to read the Quran myself. And if but there's those of translators. You need scholars to translate it. Do you understand that direct Arabic from the Quran?
I understand.
I've got to say next time. What am I doing here? I'm here because that message.
Not everyone has that. I'm from a Moroccan community. I don't live in West London. I don't live in Labrador. So when I was raised in London, I was a part of that immediate Moroccan community based on where I live. Therefore, yes, to some extent, I am part of that community based on the fact that I'm Moroccan. I know people there. Some of my family there. But I'm not directly part of that community. So it makes it much more hard for me as a mixed person trying to get married outside.
I'm saying men and women. Why are you not part of the community? Why are you not part of the community? Why is it not?
I should look at him and think, but then sometimes they don't live in the areas or they're out like you don't want to marry your cousin. I'm sorry, like that's not being right, but sometimes you don't want to marry your cousin.
I do have a community, but I'm not. I would say I am in touch with the community enough
Muslims say no.
for me to
Anyone can tell.
constantly ask questions. No, that's not anymore. Not anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Because everyone's doing it.
But to the point where we can't.
I say
You're very professional what you say, but I know there can be someone else who's very professional.
I say
I don't know.
I say all right. I say for example, the person that you have to follow,
Sorry.
Before he dies, he says, I live with you. If you follow them, you will not go astray. You understand?
Okay.
So some people, obviously, they didn't listen to the Prophet Muhammad, and that's why Islam is it's shambles today. It's shambles. It's a mess. It's a complete mess because everyone's doing their own.
Content over everything. From your
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
In the Western world,
Listen.
as Christians, we've lost that sense of identity as Christians, that brotherhood as a church. And what we have done is too many of our leaders have tried to turn the church into a giant NGO, a charity that supports society at large with no sense of its own internal cohesion or its own internal coherence or its own internal identity.